Welcome to the conclusion of the PGT PLO Series. It is time for the final table of event number 9. A $25,000 buy-in coming at you from the PokerGO studio on the Las Vegas Strip. My name is Remko Rinkema. Donnie Peters, as always, alongside me to call the action here on our YouTube, our Twitch, and wherever else we are live. If you're finding us, let us know through Twitter as well, twitter.com/PokerGo, if you want to chime in. Unless, of course, you have that chat functionality going, please let us know how you are doing. Here's a look at our final table of chip counts, and we'll introduce all these players as the night goes on. Danie Geeng, he is our chip leader with 4.8 million. The talkative, Mr. Kothari, Donnie, will he bring his A game yet again after a fun display during the main event of the World Series of Poker this year? Here are the final table chip counts, or excuse me, payouts. Just shy of $500,000 for the winner, rolling straight into the action here on hand number 1.
McAllen, right? Yeah, exactly.
There he is, Donnie, talking away.
I'll tell you when no one's listening, because my parents live in New Jersey, so whenever I'm there, I play. So I'm not just sitting with like $500,000 in the account, but I like playing 10-20 with you.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's funny, yeah.
Sounds like Kothari and John Riordan get after it in the WSOP.com PLO streets.
I think he's tough.
Riordan, a recent 2-time bracelet winner in the WSOP.com online series known as McAllen 25.
Is that your favorite drink, McAllen? Solid bottle.
It's really good. I mean, I've only had it a couple times.
How much is the bottle? It's like 10K?
I don't even know that. It's like probably like 3 or 4 times. I've had a lot of 18.
Yeah, 18 is not like that. After 18, it jumps, you know, exponentially.
Yeah.
I just realized I can't see that.
They'll tell you when it's 10 seconds.
Danie Geeng here, Queen 10-8-8, double suited. We're 7-handed here in a battle for the championship. Eelis Parssinen, very comfortable looking with that fleece. Donnie, you're on the case right away. I need to know where he got that from.
I can't see it, so it's going to be a problem going forward. Is there something we can do? I can't see the timer.
You can put it there.
It's
Danie Geeng,
I have
curious
bad
about
eyes
the
and
timer.
there's reflection on it too.
Yeah, I think if you turn the brightness up, it might take away that glare. Yeah.
All right, well, if you are tuned in on YouTube or Twitch, we very much appreciate it. We'll be here until we crown a winner today on the live stream. We are playing with
much
a
better.
action clock, shot clock, whatever you want to call it.
We need a name for the clock. We need a name for this room. We need a name for the clock.
We need a sponsor for the clock. Donnie, give me the lowdown on what we're dealing with as far as the points go, because there are some implications here as far as who can still win the overall PGT PLO Series.
I start with 550, so.
Oh yeah, lots of sweating to do. Most notably, Juhasz, who's at the top. The Brazilian has 341 leaderboard points. He won an event earlier in the series. He has 5 total cashes. He's not here today, but probably sweating from the sidelines because there is a $25,000 championship bonus on the line. Benjamin Juhasz is closest to Samau. He is, I believe, 66 points back. So Juhasz would need, I believe it's 6th place or better. Yeah, 6th place or better. 6th place would give him 68 points. Of course, I think some other things could shake out at this table, but Juhasz is the closest. Eelis Parssinen, the second closest. He's got 236 points coming into this one. He would overtake Samau with a 4th place or better. Geeng needs to finish 2nd or better. And then John Riordan and Karakutkov. How do you say that one?
That's the best one.
You're the resident European here. Help me out.
Karakutkov.
Karakutkov, okay. him and Riordan need to win, and then they need a whole heck of a lot of other help. So I'm not even going to worry about that until we get down to it. But it's basically right now it's Juhasz, it's Parssinen, and it's Danie Geeng are the immediate threats to joust them out.
Interesting dynamics at this final table. But of course, these players mostly concerned about the overall payout. Like I said, $487,000 on the line today. That is the top payout in this event. The final 7 are guaranteed $93,000 already. Just before the stream started, Donnie, we lost 4 big names that all finished in the money. Alex Livingston, Michael Dueck of World Series of Poker main event fame, Adam Hendricks, and Jim Colopy. Colopy rounds out a terrific series with a min cash in this final event after 2 runner-up finishes earlier in the series.
Yeah, both Colopy and Hendricks were threats to Samau. Hendricks won the progressive bounty earlier in the series, the first ever progressive bounty that was held as part of the PGT. Colopy had some deep runs, some final table appearances as well. So with them out, Joust Samau can breathe a little bit easier, although he's certainly not out of it yet. Really got to sweat Benjamin Juhasz here, finishing 6th or better. Juhasz is second shortest, so I think Mr. Samau is probably at home somewhere. Maybe he's still in Las Vegas. He's rooting for a John Riordan double up, and then we'll go from there.
I hope he's standing just outside the studio, banging on the windows. Just banging on the windows, hoping for some good fortune, rooting for those that can help him secure the title. Of course, no small feat. 9 events, pot limit Omaha, or some form of the wonderful four-card format. Hotly contested, tough fields. It's been a great atmosphere here in Las Vegas over the last week and a half as we see John Riordan, our short stack, looking down at aces with a suit as well. Kothari, fairly quiet, hiding behind the shades and the hoodie. And there it is. 480 is the pot size raised. Riordan only has 450 left behind. It's all going to go in there.
That's everything, right?
Action back to Kothari quickly. Just verifying whether that's an all-in. He's got a lot of those white chips in front of him. Could easily afford to take a chance here. The fact that his hand is a badoogie doesn't really help him, but hey, he's in it for 140. Only has to call 310 more.
I call.
There it is. Call is made. We get an all-in here right off the bat. John Riordan's tournament life on the line with aces. 70-30, about as good as it gets when it comes to pot limit Omaha pre-flop odds.
Yeah, no suits here for Kothari. Hearts working as well for Riordan. He's also got a 9 in his hand, which helps. A 9-8 too, you know, can block some straight possibilities for Kothari here. Riordan looks a little bit uncomfortable though over there.
Exactly $1 million in the middle.
Good luck, man.
Riordan awaiting the flop. Here it comes. Queen, Jack, Deuce. Riordan unsure here of how he should feel. The odds have gotten worse. Kothari now 11 outs. King, 8, Queen, or 9. Turn is the 6 of spades. A little safer here. We're back to basically 70-30 as John Riordan is 1 card away from a big double up here at the start of the final table. Needs to fade 11 cards on the river. River card is the 9 of diamonds. That's going to give Kothari the winning hand, making 2 pair. Despite Riordan holding a 9 himself, he is eliminated from this final table. And he looks dejected, Donnie.
I mean, he got it in really good there, was really looking to double up. I mean, all things considered. I know Riordan didn't exactly look comfortable, but, you know, you get it in, you're 70-30. I'm not sure you can ask for much better in pot limit Omaha, unfortunately. Cruel game we play here, tournament poker. And Riordan's out the door in 7th.
Riordan collects $93,750 for his efforts. Perhaps a bit of a series saver for him, Donnie, with all these big binds that we've had.
Yeah, I mean, we saw him make a final table earlier in the series. Believe he finished 4th there. Riordan certainly out here blasting in the PLO streets.
Kothari now closing in on Geeng's chip lead. 2 players over 4 million. The haves and the have-nots. Benjamin Juhasz, our current short stack, he is not used to being the short stack. When we saw him at the final table of event number 7, he was so dominant, went wire to wire at the final table. Now, just looking for a double up to get back into the game. Raise to 100K. By the way, we're playing 20K, 40K big blinds with the 40K big blind ante. Karakutkov. Man, this might be the hardest name to pronounce. Maybe we should have asked him before the stream how he says it. Let us know in the chat. What are some of the most difficult names in poker? I'd love to get some suggestions. I think Athanasios Polychronopoulos probably qualifies as well. However, once you get the hang of it, it sort of flows rather nicely as Berente here comes in with the 3-bet. Ace-King, 10-9. Seeing some aggressive poker being played.
Cool.
Karakutkov makes the call on the button. Shout out to our moderators in the chat. RMX Indiana, Russell, Christy, thanks for joining us yet again. If you guys have any questions or requests, if you're watching us on YouTube, please let us know. Also keeping an eye on that Twitch chat at the same time. Donnie keeping an eye on the PokerGO chat, see what else is going on over there. We're going to do some giveaways. We're going to do our first giveaway when we get to 100 likes. I've just decided giving away 2 PokerGO shop gift cards worth $25 each when we get to 100 likes. So let's get the like train going. And if you're in here from the start, you're going to have a much better chance of taking home some of the prizes today. Flop right now coming out, King, 8-7, 3 diamonds. No diamonds for either player. Berente, however, after 3-betting, decides to slow down, and Karakutkov checks behind. Berente having hit a king with that ace kicker well ahead here. Of course, scary board with the 3 diamonds out there. Would not be surprised to perhaps see this hand get checked all the way down, as our gentleman on the button also has some showdown value here against complete nothing hands. Donnie, perhaps if you've completely whiffed, this is the time to take a stab. Or, in his case, maybe turning his king into a bluff.
Yeah, why not? Fire away. Let's go. Make your opponent make a tough call here.
Look at this. Berente makes the call for 240K. Very good read there. River brings the 7 of clubs pairing the board. Berente gets the check mark. Ace-King best here. The question now becomes, is Karakutkov going to fire again on the river? Pausing here, giving it some thought. We, of course, can see that checking behind here would not get it done. The beauty of pot limit Omaha is that if he was beat on the flop, he was going to be beat anyway already, so perhaps has to assume that Berente might want to extract value from a flop flush in a different kind of way than what he will be doing now. Karakutkov has his opponent covered. Would love to see a shove here, just for the entertainment value. Put this man under pressure. He does not. He checks behind, hoping that perhaps his king is good against some crummy hand, even though he could have probably assessed that Berente would not be in there 3-betting with anything less than ace-king. Berente picks up an important pot here, chips up to 1.8 million. Basically tied with Eelis Parssinen from Finland.
With that elimination of John Riordan in 7th place, that guarantees it will not be Zhao Samao winning the Player of the Series title. Right now, it looks to be Benjamin Juhasz in the driver's seat. He has at least 78 points right now, or sorry, 68 points additional right now. He came into this final table with 275, so he'll edge Samao by 2 points. But there are still some other implications at play. We got Danie Geeng. You have Eelis Parssinen as well.
The question is, Donnie, how do we generate the most drama? Like, you know, Juhasz busts in the spot where he takes the lead, but just slightly, and then I guess Geeng has to stay in versus Parssinen or something along those lines?
I mean, I guess it would be Geeng, Parssinen, and Juhasz in the final 3.
Okay, that gives us the most options.
I think so, yeah. Because I believe there's enough of a gap between. I mean, there's 90 points separating 1st and 2nd place, so things could get fun.
Blind battle here between Berente and Parssinen. Donnie, once you're caught up on all your math, you gotta find this Parssinen hoodie for me.
I tried. I gave up.
It's either from like.
I mean, it looks like it just might be like some sort of Finland brand or whatever. I mean, we saw his buddy Joni Jokamainen the other day wearing ended up being the Finnish soccer team pullover or whatever. So maybe it's just that. I mean, blue and white are the Finnish colors, right? Representing the country.
Well, for everyone in the chat, let us know if you can find out what that sweater is. It looks mighty comfortable with these cold winter months coming up. 50K bet and a call here on the flop. Let's see a turn card. Jack of Hearts hits. Parssinen picks up a heart flush draw. For some reason, Eelis Parssinen is an extremely intimidating player to me. Just looking at him gives me the sense that he is completely fearless.
I mean, he is. And he's extremely skilled and experienced in pot limit Omaha. Certainly not someone I would like to have at a table with me. Certainly not someone I would like to have on my direct left like Mark Berente has here. Your favorite pot limit Omaha question. How much is in the pot? Parssinen has probably played 10 million hands of pot limit Omaha. How much is in the pot?
Exactly. Just like Jared Blesnick. Berente continues firing, and Parssinen just comes along. 10 high flush draw, pair of 4s. Doesn't seem to really care about any of these things. Ace hits on the river, gives Parssinen 2 pair. Berente fired twice with that wrap straight draw. Doesn't get there on the river. 470K in the middle. Berente waves the white flag. Action over to Parssinen.
250. 250.
That's 250. No action on that, and he picks up a nice little pot here. All these pots matter, of course, when you're at the final table battling for the big money. Just tuning in, this is the final table of event number 9. We've had 9 events at the PokerGO studio, highlighting the beautiful game of Pot Limit Omaha. The final 6 right now, guaranteed $112,000. First prize tonight, $487,000. Benjamin Juhasz, winner of event number 7. Looks down at 2 jacks.
Got to give a shout out to Christy, our mod. She found the hoodie.
No way.
It's from Burberry.
No way.
I'm on the Saks Fifth Avenue website. It's $1,350.
Oh my God. Please send me the link. My fiance told me today that she loved Eelis's hoodie, and she said it's either one of those $40, joke hoodie fleeces made out of plastic, or it's going to be high fashion, and there it is, high fashion. Karakutkov, double suited ace, king, jack, 8. Pärssinen, 1 card away from a royal flush here. Jokes aside, the all diamond hand at least coming with a little bit of a rundown here. Look at this, fighting back here with a pot size raise. Karakutkov in a good spot here, Donnie, to perhaps just jam it all in there with that double suited ace king.
He could. If he thinks Pärssinen is opening it up as wide as he can be, then yeah, he could fight right back.
Go.
Just makes the call.
Six. 7 behind.
Yeah, 6-7 check.
670K behind for the player with the best hand going to the flop, and there comes King 10-5 with 2 hearts. Karakutkov flopping top pair, top kicker, flush draw, and Pärssinen with a bunch of straight outs here, going for it. Bad news though. Just 9 outs as all the hearts are removed from his options. Aggressive play from the Finn, backfiring on him. He is, however, not drawing dead. Still has some options here, as Karakutkov's tournament life is on the line. Let's see if the turn or river can bring the Finn what he is looking for. The thing he's most disappointed in is clearly the fact that his opponent has hearts. And there it is, a heart on the turn. That will seal it.
6-7.
Karakutkov hits the flush and hits the flush by making 2 pair, and then makes a full house on the river to add insult to injury. Up to 2.1 million, as Pärssinen is now down to 1.1 million.
Just kept getting better and better.
Let us know in the chat who you are rooting for. I'm sure we have plenty of Finns watching again. Finland always well represented. International final table here today. Karakutkov representing Bulgaria. Benjamin Juhasz representing Hungary. Listen to me. Hungary. Three Europeans and 3 players representing the American flag here today. I think Hungary sounds way cooler than Hungary. I don't know. Maybe they should consider making that change. Action will be slow and steady today. Levels are 45 minutes in length. Once we get down to heads-up play, it'll be 30-minute levels. Danie Geeng still our chip leader. Bit of a breakout series for Geeng. 3 cashes so far in this series, 1 runner-up finish. This is 4th cash as Berente raising it up with ace, king, queen 9. Kothari finding aces, doesn't hesitate, re-raises the pot. Berente wasting no time letting it go as Kothari chips up some more. Getting it done says, PokerGO, you should allow Jarrett to buy in right now. Mr. Blesnik, of course, provided a lot of entertainment during our Pod Limit Omaha Super High Roller Bowl. I would love kind of a tournament format where a superstar player that you guys love to watch is at every final table. Sort of like Face the Ace. You know, Negreanu or Helmuth or whoever is waiting for you, waiting to take your chips at the final table. That'd be kind of fun. Great to see so many Blesnik fans still with us in the chat after that epic, what was it, a 14-hour-long final table? By the way, if you're on YouTube with us, smash that like button, subscribe to our channel. That's all we ask. It helps us a lot. Once we hit 100 likes on today's video, I'll give away 2 $25 PokerGO merch gift cards. And we might do a few more later down the line. So stay with us here tonight as we look to crown a winner in the final event of our PLO series. Parssinen raising it up with ace, queen, 8-7 double suited. Kothari also double suited. Clubs, however, will get him into trouble. Same goes for Karakutkov. I'm getting pretty good at saying the name, Donnie.
You are. I just stepped out because Karakutkov was at a final table before that we did. Ali Najad and Len Ashby were on the call.
Yeah, like one.
I heard Ali Najad say his last name once, and then he just called him Veselin after that. So I gave up trying to listen.
So what you're saying is that I get all the credit and respect.
Yes. I mean, listen, you're the resident European. So whenever there's a crazy European name, we just need to bring you on in here and get you to say it.
It's more so the fact that when you say it a few times in a row, you get sort of a flow for it.
Yeah. You mentioned like the names or whatever earlier.
Yeah.
The first one for me was Nikolai Evdokov.
Evdokov.
I remember that. And I had to like Control-C constantly when writing in the reporting. Then I got his down.
Yeah.
Then after that, it was Yevgeny Timoshenko.
Right. Yeah, that's a good one.
So those were 2 that I'll always remember how to spell them now because of those painful times I went through trying to spell them over and over in live reporting.
I have the same thing, or I used to have the same thing for Athanasios Polychronopoulos, but got the hang of it there. 6 there for our man from Bulgaria, Mr. K, Donnie, if you will.
Yeah, Mr. K. Veselin K.
Gets 1 customer here in the form. Excuse me, Kothari gets 1 customer here on his bet of 250,000. 5 hits on the turn. Karakutkov all but insured of the win right here. Neither player with spades. However, that does slow the action down. Kothari perhaps could have used that spade in his favor to bluff. Decides to slow it down.
Straight.
Nice sound. Fucking worst river in the deck.
Kothari not happy about that at all. Probably didn't realize that
Call
the 6
pot on the river.
It will be
the
very
6 had
hard.
him crushed.
Huh?
It will be very hard.
Yeah.
You know, the only result on
Multiple
hand to
rivers,
mouth
I do
for
that,
live
it's not that deuce, so-
tournaments for Kothari is his 30th
Nice
place finish in the WSB main event. I think it was 280,000, give or take a little bit there.
That chip is like,
Oh, was it? Sorry.
no,
Has a few online caches on
Trying to
WSB.com,
steal
but
5K from
the
you.
only
Okay.
live tournament result is prior to this one is that main event finish.
But that hurts, you know. I didn't want it to hurt for you.
Friendly game of poker so far at this final table. Kothari, not as chatty as he was during the main event for now.
Thought we might see it. We got right into the show and he was talking to John Riordan. Maybe it's, a John Riordan thing. John Riordan busted out and now Kothari's quiet. I do want to point out that Geeng as the chip leader, we saw him previously at a final table as part of this PLO series as the chip leader. Wasn't too aggressive as the chip leader, and I think we're seeing that same sort of approach here where he's just happy being at the top, content with his positioning, doesn't need to get involved. He's just going to play his style, not really to force the aggression. Whereas, we've seen some other players with some chip leads. Benjamin Juhasz, one of them. Eelis Parssinen, another one. When they made their final tables and were big chip leaders, they certainly ramped up the aggression. So.
Absolutely. I mean, Juhasz, probably the most dominant performance we've seen all series.
Well, you weren't here for the Parssinen one, but it was. I'm pretty sure he wasn't looking at his cards.
You don't have to when you're the chip leader.
No.
If you're in Parsons' shoes right now, Donnie, are you just sort of frustrated, biding your time? This is not the spot that he enjoys, probably being patient. I can only imagine that this guy thrives off of that aggressive game.
Yeah, I don't think Parssinen likes to be patient. I think it kind of pains him on the inside. These, I would say kind of all the Finns, the Swedes, all the Northern Europeans that are so very, very good at pot limit Omaha. I think they're known for being aggressive, known for being a little bit looser than some others. Getting in there, mixing it up, not being scared. You mentioned fearless earlier, so when you're just kind of forced to press the brakes a little bit, it can be a bit painful. But that's also part of tournaments, You gotta recognize the situations. It's ever changing. You got to be able to adapt as things go. Pay jumps, of course, at this stage of the tournament are extremely meaningful. Parssinen is also in the running to potentially win the Player of the Series title. So all of that, I'm sure, is weighing on his mind as much as he would like to get involved. Geeng here started with 2 aces, but takes that 7-2 and makes 2 pair on the turn. Berente here working with a straight draw. He's also got a pair of deuces in his hand. Heads up to the river. Another deuce that fills up Geeng. Gives Berente trip 2s. Could be a little tricky for Berente here, depending on what kind of sizing Geeng goes with. Excuse me, 360K in the pot.
250.
$250. Quick call from Berente. Full house shown from Geeng.
Nice hand.
And the chip leader's going to rake that one in. Climb up over 5 million in chips.
Tight range.
Yeah,
Seems that way.
I was thinking the same.
Or is that the story you're trying to sell? You guys know who's in the booth? No
Me
idea, right?
and him.
Who's the commentator?
They should write our names like on that whiteboard out there or something.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they can still be like, who?
Maybe
Who are these guys?
Maybe Kothari is wondering so that he can decide whether he needs to up his talking game or
It's the same guys that were in the booth when you made your deep run in the WSB main event, sir.
true. True.
1 hour delay?
2 days.
2 hour delay?
Hey,
For those watching the stream right now, we do start with a 2-hour delay. We call it our dynamic delay, giving us a chance to cut out some of the breaks so you guys at home don't get bored. Allows us to really keep the action going at a high pace. Chips being passed around for now. Nobody in real trouble. Benjamin Juhasz, our short stack, with 15 big blinds. Here's a look at our beautiful game. Check out PokerGoPlay.com and get in the game right now. As Donnie always says, play for free, win real prizes. Get the app right now through the App Store or on Google Play. Beautiful sight there of the PokerGo studio. If you're ever in Las Vegas, don't hesitate to try to, see if the door opens. if it does, feel free to sneak inside, snap a photo.
Imagine if that was a reverse towel and just rip potted after you guys open.
there he is.
We're about to find out.
I didn't saw it, but
I love the sizing too. This one's gonna be one for the books. Check dark.
Kothari here flopping a king. Karakutkov with some options here. However, the spades on the flop might hold him back from getting too invested. Queen of spades on the turn, eliciting an immediate pot bet from Kothari. Doesn't even have a big spade to get creative with, but just probably has a sense that Karakutkov does not have spades, and his read is spot on here. However, Donnie, Karakutkov does make a Broadway straight here.
He does. But he's facing a lot of aggression here from Kothari. I mean, he just blasted pot immediately when that turn card hit the felt, so. He does give it up. Shows the 4 of spades. This man's here to play. Let's go.
I absolutely love when players turn up the heat, especially in Pot Limit Omaha. Donnie, it is a game where making the nuts is so important, and it takes a little bit of extra gusto, I want to say, to make big bluffs in this game.
Yeah, extra balls. We'll just say it. We'll just put it out there on the table.
You had it? No? No comment. We'll find out, I guess.
We are working with a new chip set in play for this tournament. This is the special Super High Roller chip set.
Ooh,
If you watch the Super High Roller Bowl or the Super High Roller Bowl PLO, you'll recognize these chips. Those light blues, those Carolina blues, those are 5K. The greens are 25K, and then the whites are 100K. Kothari here from the small blind.
Yeah, that's why that's going to be 120.
Announces pot and just puts out a stack. King, king, 10-4 in his hand. Benjamin Juhasz here.
If you've been watching all of our streams, it is so fun to see players being put in different situations. Juhasz, we sort of only remember him as the chip leader, but now that he is short, it's going to be interesting to see how he adjusts to that and how he's able to perhaps, claw his way back in there.
How much behind?
Ace-5 deuce here, Rainbow.
Check.
That ace an unwanted sight for Kothari, holding 2 kings in his hand. But fortunately for him, Juhasz doesn't really connect at all.
Yeah, and the one card that Juhasz might think improves his hand, being a club, would actually hurt his chances of winning this hand. Look at this, Kothari grabbing his kings immediately, showing it down. Benjamin Juhasz, of course, going for the quick, silent muck.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Juhasz doesn't strike me as a guy who often shows his holdings, but
Right.
if you're playing against someone like Kothari who, I don't know, seems like he wants to be showing his hand, seems like he could be emotionally involved, maybe you show the queen jack high there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think
Just
it's-
show the queen jack 7-4. Look, I got the short stack, but I'm not scared. Just like you showed the 4 of spades. I can do this too, sir. Kothari here, right back at it, on the button. Ace, king, queen, 7. He's got 2 spades in his hands. Juhasz here finds the aces. And suited to one of them.
Did you mean the burgers?
The burgers, the birds, the rockets.
Does it count in PLO too?
Yes, it counts. Come on, American Airlines, let's go.
Please pull the 140s.
Kothari requesting that the original raise get pulled in from both players. I believe that's something that he did in the WSB main event run as well, if I remember correctly. So not out of the norm for him. He already did it once at this final table. Juhasz 3-betted 460, only has 280K behind. I'm going to guess you're not going to get anything out of Benjamin Juhasz.
What do you have? I don't have the suit.
Be careful with those RFID cards right there, buddy.
Thank you.
That's right. And now show 9-7 deuce.
I think it's too late to show the cards.
No 9-7 deuce.
No, you showed 9-7 deuce, and it's gonna be funny if he show
9-7. Oh,
good fold and show.
If Juhasz would have
9-7
showed
deuce.
the Queen Jack 7-4
That's why
on
I
the
was just
last
hoping
hand,
for you to show me the
might have gotten
9-7
some
deuce.
action there on that one.
No. Okay. I'm not that type. I don't.
Because I had a 7 in my hand, I had an ace in my hand, I had a king in my hand. So I'm blocking aces, kings, and 9-7 deuce. You know what I mean?
I don't take place personally. So
Oh. That was a cute statement. I don't take it personally. That was a nice hand, though. I wish that was on this table.
actually.
Cool.
With those 2 recent pots, Juhasz has chipped up enough to surpass Parssinen at the bottom of the leaderboard. The Finn is now the shortest stack on 935,000. Juhasz not too far ahead, but ahead nonetheless, 960K. Interesting here from Geeng. Kothari limped in. Karakutkov also limped in from the small blind, and Geeng just checked aces with a suit with 9-8. So pretty decent hand. And when you're the chip leader, maybe put some pressure on your opponents there. But he elects to just check. It comes king, queen, queen, 2 diamonds. Checks through. Another king appears on the turn. So Kothari here in the lead now. But that's not going to stop Karakutkov from betting out here, 75K. Geeng puts his hand in the muck.
It feels so tricky to not be aggressive with aces. On the other hand,
75.
when you are the chip leader, perhaps less incentive to play big pots out of position, Donnie?
Yeah, I mean, that's probably what's going through Geeng's mind. I mean, I would have liked him to apply some pressure there. I think his hand certainly merits it.
What do you do here if I pop pre?
If you pop this,
If I pop it pre.
pot it pre.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'll be honest. I'm not going anywhere.
Eight aces again.
No. I only play aces. You're
Last
right.
hand or two more? Last hand.
Donnie,
Let's fold.
is Daniel Geeng giving away a bit too much here?
I think so. I mean,
How long's the break? 10 minutes.
not so sure I would just be openly telling the table I had aces and just checked in the big blind there as the chip leader, you know.
We're good. Thank you.
Parssinen here under the gun, ace king 9-6. Comes in with a pot-sized raise.
Players are rushing off the stage. We are not going on break. Through the beauty of our dynamic delay, we'll be able to keep the action rolling for all of you watching at home right now. All we ask for is you like the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're catching us elsewhere, please hit us up.
This winter, WSOP is bringing the heat. This December, the WSOP is coming to Atlantis, and they're bringing $50 million guaranteed, with buy-ins as low as $1,000 or as high as $100,000. There's going to be 15 World Series of Poker Bracelet events and a $5,000 main event with a juicy $15 million guarantee. So who wants to come make history with me and win some bracelets in paradise?
Quick little detour to the Bahamas there. Welcome back to the studio.
Is it the same?
PGT PLO Series wrapping up tonight.
More in Hungary, but
We've got a final table of 6 for you here.
800 euros.
Blinds are up to 25K,
No,
50K.
I think it should be more.
Yeah, in Sofia it's a little bit more, but I guess like maybe 1.2.
The average gamer with a $2 donation says, it's not much, but thanks for the no delay. No problem, buddy. No problem at all. Of course, the longer this thing runs, the more likely the chances of us actually having to run a break, because we don't have infinite delay. But I can guarantee you that for the next 2 hours, we will not be having any breaks. We can just focus on the action and seeing how this final table progresses, as Daniel Geeng still sits comfortably on his chip lead, over 5 million chips. The only player right now over 100 big blinds. Geeng picks one up. As we are approaching the final 2 months of the year, I'd love to hear from the chat. What are some of your favorite poker moments of the year? Can be A personal moment could be a moment you've watched on the stream, perhaps something you've experienced at the table. Let us know what some of your favorite moments of 2023 have been. I've started to compile sort of my favorite hands of the year. We're going to do some compilation videos on our YouTube channel, so don't miss any of that. Donnie, what comes to mind when you think of the best hands or moments of 2023?
I mean, I think the top one has to be Daniel Wyman spiking that jack on the turn.
Oh, my God.
Which I watched 2 days ago, probably 10 times.
Yep.
I just kind of stumbled upon it, and I was like, you know what? I got to watch this again. I think that's up there. I'm not sure I can picture one specific hand, but what I will say is that that compilation video that you put together, again from the WSOP, involving Nick Rigby.
Oh, yeah.
Just because he plays so many crazy hands. You know, like the hand when he busted Helmuth, you know, like the hand when he had, I want to say it was like 10-8 and busted 2 players at the same time, like stuff like that, you know.
Yep.
Here we have Pärssinen all in. He's got the aces. And he's looking good here.
Wow, Berente only has 45,000 chips more. Berente, ace, queen, queen, jack versus ace, ace, queen, 7. Both players with ace, queen. There's a few chop options here for the ace, queen. Otherwise, we'll see one player hit the road or the other be down to crumbs. Parssinen's tournament life on the line.
Can I root for my friend?
Here comes a flop. Jack, excuse me, 9, deuce, 8, 2 spades.
Oh,
Pärssinen.
Possibilities.
Pärssinen with a nut flush draw here. 10 or a queen that's not a spade are the outs for Berente. Spade on the turn, and that'll lock up a massive double up for Eelis Parssinen. Mark Berente down to just 45K. Let's verify these counts. He's going to be down to fewer than 1 big blind. All of a sudden, Donnie, bang, bang, Pärssinen back in the game.
He is, and that's going to be an unwanted sight from his opponents. We talked about the fearlessness of Pärssinen. Now with nearly 2 million in chips, I'm sure he's going to be quite a handful. Berente isn't out yet. I know he's standing out. The count is extremely close. He's going to have 45,000 behind.
Yes. Correct.
Everything's good. Yeah. Did it right.
Berente there was on the button, I should say. So he'll have some free hands here to make a decision
you with aces. Who would have thought?
Always aces.
He's gotten aces 9 times in 2 hours. And each time it's like ace, ace, king, king double. Ace, ace, queen, queen double. Ace, ace, jack, jack double.
So that hand was a bad hand.
That was the bottom of his range.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So solid.
Imagine aces being the bottom of Parssinen's range.
It is. I'm gonna for sure keep this one.
It's kind of funny, Donnie, as I mentioned, sort of the biggest moments or biggest hands of the year. Our biggest single clip watched on YouTube for a hand that was played this year, because sometimes we like to, you know, run it back, so to say, and post some hands from the past. The biggest single clip, Mr. Phil Hellmuth, World Series Poker main event day 1, flopping a set and basically getting a full double up in like the first level. That one has 765,000 views in the first 3 months. Phil Hellmuth, of course, always near the top of the counts. But then one hand, Donnie, that might surprise you was the epic bluff that we saw from Mr. Wu versus Stephen Chidwick. Gotta love the World Series Poker main event. Always producing the goods.
Aces again appearing here. This time it's Kothari. Geeng opened this one up with a raise. Kothari 3-bet from the small blind. Geeng made the call in position. Check, check on the queen 7-5 2 club flop. 9 on the turn. Decent turn card here for Geeng. Kothari's got those aces. He's got 6 deuce of clubs in his hand as well. Geeng flopped a pair of 7s. Now turning a straight draw as well. Kothari came with 400K and Geeng made the call. Deuce of hearts on the river. That's a nice blank as far as Kothari is concerned. Kothari's got 2 aces in his hand. Just a single pair though, it is best. As long as he doesn't fold, Kothari will be taking this one, but let's see what Geeng's gonna do. First up, double check his hand. Geeng checks behind. Those aces are going to do it for Kothari, and that is going to give Kothari the chip lead here, overtaking Geeng.
Donnie, I'm shocked he's doing it in silence here. I would have expected perhaps a little bit of a speech here, but you love to see it. Geeng not safe. Kothari on the offensive.
He was like dreaming. He's like, if I ladder up this hand. Yep, this is this way.
$150.
Geeng again with a hand here. King, queen, jack 7. Parssinen, double suited, lets it go. Action back on Kothari. Oh,
Yes.
Ah, sorry, sorry.
Oh, you don't have cards? Okay, sorry.
Oh.
I know, I act very lightning fast, so you're used to not waiting.
I just
It's all
thought
good, bro. Don't worry
both
about
of you wanted.
Don't worry about
Is it empty first?
Would have been interesting to see
first.
what Kothari would have done had Geeng come with a big bet on the river there in position. The dynamics of battling between the top 2 stacks at the table when there is an extreme short stack, Mark Berente there at the table. So Kothari ultimately only had 1 pair. It was the best possible pair. He had
It's nice
aces,
to know
but
someone that speaks your own language, right? Yeah.
unlike Hold'em, aces can go down in size in PLO.
just 1 pair, Donnie.
Just 1 pair. That's all I got. Just 1 pair. The best pair, but just 1 pair. Decision here for Berente. It's either now or he'll be forced in the next hand. He goes now. He's got ace king 4-3. The 4-3 is suited.
Call.
Kothari's going to get in there. Try and take a shot at knocking out Berente.
At this point, it's just worth it to get in there, just to get that pay jump.
I'm gonna put the 20 on the side.
Yeah.
Good luck, Olive.
Berente was all in for 45,000, 5,000 less than the big blind, so there will be a side pot here, 20,000 that the other players can fight for. 10, 5, deuce, rainbow.
Turn.
Check.
Everybody checks. 7 on the turn. Keeping it rainbow.
Check. Check.
Donnie, this is amazing. He gets it done.
Yeah, he makes the wheel.
wheel on the river for the all-in player. Berente
Quadruple up.
with more than a quadruple up here with the big blind also
Yeah.
in the hand there. Only 15K on the side. He's going to receive 230K. All of a sudden, if he makes it through the blinds here by perhaps picking them up once, he's going to have some full equity again. I always root for the comeback from the small stack.
Going to be another important one here. Right back into it for Berente because he's in the big blind. That means of that 230 he just won, 50K is going in for the big blind ante and 50K is going in for the big blind. So almost half of his stack is going to be back out there forcibly. See if he can survive this hand as well. Parssinen out of the way there, so is Kothari. But Juhasz here finds two aces, ace, ace, queen, 3.
100.
He makes it 100,000.
We're all like sweating to see what Berente wakes up with. Berente in the big blind has a lot of reasons to find a good hand here, especially because the vast majority of his chips are already in the middle here. 10-6, 5-3 with 3 diamonds. Not exactly a very good hand, but with this much invested already, he's going to go take a flop. Funny how Omaha works. 36% going to that flop.
Might be enough of it here for Berente, and it is.
It is enough as Juhasz tables aces with hearts. Berente, 14 outs twice here. A 4, a 6, a 10, a 5, a 3. I mean,
You could be in worse spots than 48%, that's for sure.
and Donnie, look at this. If he wins this, he'll be up from 45K to 435K in a matter of just 2 hands.
Sok szerencsét.
Juhasz finds it funny and amusing that his opponent still has this many outs.
Just about a $20,000 pay jump is what the players are looking at right now.
Turn card is the deuce of diamonds. Look, the screen is almost too small to show all of Berente's outs. He's got 19 outs right now, 48% equity in this hand. We're flipping coins here on the turn. Can Berente stay in the game, or is Juhasz going to send him to the exit? And the river is the 9 of clubs that is not going to do it. Mark Berente, great showing. Was halfway there to an impressive comeback, but ultimately fell short here, busting in 6th place. We are down to the final 5 here in our championship event. Mark Berente takes home $112,000, and the final 5 are now guaranteed $150K.
Somehow whiffed the river there. I don't know how that's possible, but he was able to whiff with that 9 of clubs coming in.
One big blind, right? Yep.
Things are going well for Benjamin Juhasz. Another elimination means that not only does he get a pay jump, he gets a few more points for the top of the series leaderboard. He officially surpassed Zhao Samao by finishing in 6th place or better, now down to the final 5. Still has to worry about Geeng and Parssinen, who are in the mix and in contention for that series title.
I guess that's right.
Kothari and Karakutkov cannot win the series title. Or sorry, Karakutkov can. My apologies, but it's going to take a lot.
Sometimes it's muscle memory, right? Yeah.
Juhasz here might get right back to work with the Jack 10, 9, 8, 1 suit. Nice little rundown here. He makes it 125.
I started 990. I think so.
Geeng potting here with ace, king, king 3. He's Got that beautiful suited ace-3 with the kings. Look at this. 3-betting with kings, flopping a king. Things are going really well for Mr. Geeng. All of a sudden, with the hoodie, I have to say, a bit more intimidating.
6 or 6.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, okay, it's fine. Pot.
You potted anyway.
Juhasz at risk here, making the call for his tournament life. Look at this. Calls all in for 6-6-5. 2.2 million in the middle. This is a massive pot. Juhasz only with 8 outs after Geeng flops top set. Wow. All of a sudden, the action hot and heavy here at the final table. We've just lost Mark Berente. Is Benjamin Juhasz going to follow suit on the very next hand? Juhasz in trouble. Turn card. 3 of clubs. That is not going to do it. 8 outs once now for Benjamin Juhasz, winner of event number 7. Is his run for the title going to end here in 5th place? River card is the 3 of diamonds, and indeed it does end right here for the Hungarian. Benjamin Juhasz was a strong contender for the overall leaderboard. And all of a sudden, he hits the rail, collecting $150,000, and we are down to 4 players. Eelis Parssinen now our short stack. Danie Geeng is our chip leader. Donnie, can we get an update on what is happening in the overall standings right now?
Yeah, so that elimination moves Benjamin Juhasz to 365 points. He has 1 win, 4 cashes, $425,000 in winnings from this series. He is the current front runner. But Eelis Parssinen, Karakutkov, and Geeng can still overtake him. I'm not sure if Karakutkov is mathematically eliminated yet. It's going to take a lot. He originally needed to win and get a whole heck of a lot of help, which I think is still very much in play. I think right now, given the fact that he has moved up into the chip lead again, and that is Geeng, he might be the one in the driver's seat because he needs to finish in 2nd or better, and then he will lock it up and no one else can catch him, even if he were to finish 2nd to Eelis Parssinen, I believe.
5.5. Let me count.
Donnie, how aware do you think Geeng is of the overall?
You and I have the same amount.
And how much do you think he cares, given that, of course, first prize in this event is still the most important?
Well, I will say this. Before the series started, he was the first player that walked into the studio. I was in here. It was just him, it was me, and Paul Campbell, and the cashier at the cage.
Wow.
Geeng went over to the cashier at the cage. Tim Duckworth put some nice banners that outline the series that we're doing. It outlines the $1 million free roll for the PGT Championship. Geeng's reading it over. I heard him from across the room ask the cashier about the $1 million free roll as it pertains to the PGT PGT PLO Series. The cashier didn't have an answer for him. So after he was done, I went over to him, introduced myself, and I said, "Did you have any questions on it?" And he said, "Yeah, does this have to do with the $1 million free roll?" I said, "Yes, it does. This event specifically isn't about a $1 million free roll. This helps you get points to ultimately qualify for the $1 million free roll." But then I did explain to him that there is a $25,000 championship bonus for this series leaderboard. So he's aware.
Nice.
He's aware that it was happening. It's his first time here in the studio this series, and he's showing out, performing extremely well. I believe he hails from New Hampshire, my neck of the woods.
Nice.
And is a PLO cash game player from back in the Northeast.
So, Donnie, let's assume here, for the sake of math, that Geeng wins this event. Will he get close to the top 40 for a chance to play in the championship, or is that list just too deep at this point that a one-off result is not going to do much for him?
Yeah, if he wins this event, he would move up to, I believe it's 481 points. So he would still be a bit of a ways off the top 40. That said, you know, there's still 20, 25 events left in the PGT season that he could get some more points from. The majority of those are no limit hold'em though, so I'm not sure how much he would want to play no limit hold'em stuff, but there might be some stuff coming up at WSOP Europe and WSOP Paradise that is pot limit Omaha that does qualify. I can take a look at that now.
We got Geeng here against Karakutkov on a queen jack deuce flop with 2 clubs. Karakutkov with the nut flush draw also has some backdoor straight possibilities as Geeng looks at a pair of kings.
There's how much?
Turn card is the 4 of
And
diamonds,
you have
giving Karakutkov an
1.7.
open and a straight draw. Let's see if Geeng is going to turn it up a little bit here. Apply some pressure, perhaps. Spending some time here, doing some math, running the numbers. Geeng picked up that diamond flush draw as well. Let's not forget that. Eliminating some of Karakutkov's straight outs going to the river if it gets that far. Does bet pot here, comes with the aggression. Now the question becomes for Karakutkov, is my draw or are my draws strong enough to commit with? Donnie, the answer likely going to be no.
Yeah, tough spot for Karakutkov. Also probably running through his head that, you know, you're battling with a player in Geeng who, at least from what we've seen at these final tables, he doesn't really put his money in light. He tends to have some pretty good equity overall. So if Karakutkov is aware of that, this draw with just 1 card to come very well might find itself in the muck. This bet here representing just about half of what Karakutkov started the hand with, and now it would be 2/3 of what he's got left. And this is just so important.
Also nearly a $40,000 pay jump on the line here. Excuse me, it's way more. I was looking at 5th to 4th. We are going from 4th to 3rd potentially. More like $65,000.
The bet is 1.1.
Does that mean he's going to call?
Wow,
It's almost like he's, you know, confirming what he's about to put in.
How much is it going to cost me to see this damn river card? Big decision here for Karakutkov. Eelis Parssinen probably happy to see the only player near him in chips facing a big decision. Does decide to throw him in the muck.
I had diamonds covered too.
Nice.
Yeah, but you didn't
guys
have
won't
clubs
believe
covered.
The flop top bottom and turn diamonds.
So I did look at the PGT schedule on PGT.com. There is a
Player.
$25,000
Nice player,
pot
no,
limit
I just
Omaha high
sold me.
roller down in the Bahamas as part
He's
of
been watching me do
WSOP
it all day
Paradise.
yesterday, right?
And there's also a $10,000 PLO championship as part of that WSOP
10-9-8,
Paradise series.
That
So
was-
at least 2
was so
big
yeah.
pot limit Omaha tournaments
There's a bunch of
coming
interesting
up
names,
in the
right?
future
It's a
on the
long day.
PGT. Those taking place in December. We'll see if Danie Geeng heads down to Paradise, heads to Atlantis, gets in on the action there.
Yeah, it's really funny to sweat the overall standings. You can find those on PGT.com as well when you look at the leaderboard. So many players that are on the cusp of the top 40 are going to be very much inclined to perhaps playing a slightly bigger schedule over the holiday season. Just a few names that are either just in or just out include Chino Reem, Nacho Barbero, Nick Schulman, Lucky Chewy. Adrian Mateos is actually in 41st place right now. Brian Rast, Alex Livingston, Dan Smith, and Justin Bonomo are all on the cusp. Hot riser, Donnie, Jim Colby, now up into 49th place after a great showing here at the PGT PLO Series.
Sounds good.
while we looked at those standings, Geeng keeps applying the pressure. A man on a mission, now up to 6.6
I don't even
million
have to do
chips.
any work. I might as well take a nap. I'll see you heads up.
We do have the newly announced PGT Sprint Series coming up November 1st through 4th, so just a couple days away. 4 single-day tournaments, a little bit more of a turbo-style structure for that series. We'll have 3 $5,000 buy-in events, 1 $10,000 buy-in events. Those tournaments will kick off what is a pretty big month of poker in Las Vegas. Of course, the NAPT of PokerStars is making a return and is returning here to Sin City, the gambling capital of the world. Ace 10-9 here, 3 ways between Geeng, Parssinen, and Kothari.
200.
Karakutkov is sitting this one out, going to be an observer here. The bet is 200 from Kothari after he was checked to, and that's good enough to take it down. Kothari firmly second in chips, sitting on 5.2 million. It's Geeng who's out in front, 6.5 million. And then Parssinen and Karakutkov are neck and neck for the short stack. Karakutkov ever so slightly ahead of Parssinen. Four-handed here in the $25,000 PLO Championship at the PGT PLO Series. These final 4 players are guaranteed $187,500 in prize money, $487,500 up top for the winner. I noticed we did pass 100 likes on the YouTube video. Once Remko gets back into here, I will let him know and we'll do the giveaway. While we're at it, hit the like button some more. I've been asked to tell you we're up over 100 likes.
Oh, sweet. I missed it. I didn't even see it. All right, that means we're giving away 2 merch gift cards worth $25 each to our YouTube chat, as well as 2 for our PokerGO chat. In case you won those 2 days ago, I still got to get caught up on all the winners from the last stream. But while we're at it, we'll set the new benchmark at 300 likes. So when we get to 300, we'll do 2 more on YouTube and 2 more on PokerGO as well. Trying to sort of spread that awareness. Get that engagement going, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have some fun with it. Also, scan the QR code on your screen or go to gtowizard.com/PokerGo if you want to improve your Hold'em game. GTO Wizard is the #1 app for poker players. Donnie Peters took himself from being terrible to mediocre. That, to me, is already a huge win as far as sort of reviews you can leave for GTO poker. All right, I'm gonna go F1 with this question, Donnie.
Oh, okay.
Let's go F1. I'm not sure if everyone in the chat
Max
watches.
Verstappen.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure if everyone in the chat watches F1, but since Vegas is about to have its first ever F1 race, I gotta get the podium prediction, top 3. F1 Las Vegas. If you don't know F1, just Google some names, throw in the chat. You all know from experience that my giveaways are always just a random draw, so don't even worry about it if you don't know what you're doing. But give me your top 3 for the F1 in Las Vegas coming up next month. I guess we're, what, 2.5 weeks away right now?
Yeah. I mean, can it just end?
If someone can sneak me in, you know, please let me know. Maybe a trench coat you can sit on my shoulders. We'll go in together like the movies back in the day. Meanwhile, the 2 big stacks clashing here. 400K in the middle, indeed, Mr. Geeng.
Yes, 150 and a call.
150 and a call. Deuce of spades on the river. Kothari checks again, having missed his diamond flush draw.
Check.
Action
pair.
goes check, check. 2 pair. 8s and 10s are going to take it here. Wow. So few submissions to the F1 prediction, giving everyone a really good chance to win right now. Picking 2 winners on YouTube and 2 winners on PokerGO chat. I'm gonna go.
Can we have them turn down the AC just a little bit?
It is cold in here. That's true. I'm gonna go Verstappen, the winner. I'm gonna go Norris second.
I was gonna say Norris is winning.
Oh wow! And I'm gonna
I think
go.
Lando's been hot.
I'm gonna go Carlos Sainz in third.
Okay, I'll go Lando winning, Verstappen second, and George Russell third.
Nice.
I think it'll be an interesting race. You know, there's not so much parity in the F1. It's like Verstappen just wins first place every single time. But this being a brand new race, brand new course, maybe it throws some of the drivers for a little bit of a loop, you know?
I've heard there's not a lot of overtaking options here.
What do you mean? Don't they have a I mean, you could overtake someone on the long
On the
straight.
straightaway, yeah.
I mean, but of course, you know,
was a
you're going
nice
to have that DRS working.
You're welcome.
I think they said like that's going to be the fastest they can hit all season long or something, just with how long that straightaway is.
Oh wow.
Listen, I'll be watching.
For sure.
I'm in there.
For sure. I'm curious if I'll be able to hear the engines from my backyard. And I think if the wind is if the wind is good, then I probably can. If you're just tuning in, we're four-handed in event 9 of the PGT PLO Series. It's a 25K buy-in championship event. Almost $500,000 for the winner today. We're streaming the whole final table, so don't go anywhere. Stick with us. Like the video. Subscribe to our channel. Kothari here comes in for the raise with the Jack 7-5-3. Geeng is going to call with kings and deuces.
Hands up.
Ace, 9, deuce.
Check.
Geeng flops a set of deuces.
250.
250.
Kothari with a wheel draw. Not much else going on. Very dry flop here for Geeng. Wouldn't be surprised to see him just call.
Call.
Comes along for the call.
Making it easy for you.
Check.
Geeng hoping that Kothari will stab again
Four.
at this one. Kothari now with a double gut shot. This is probably the most spread out double gut shot you can have, Donnie. A 4 for the wheel or an 8 for the jack high straight. Kothari continues with 400K with his semi bluff. Let's see if Geeng is gonna just call here again, and he does. Just makes the call. River card. Pairs the board with the 10 of hearts. Geeng now with a full house. 1.75 in the middle.
Check.
Perhaps hoping that Kothari. Oh, wow.
750.
Quickly bets 500K.
I said 5.
You got 5. Sorry. 500.
Nice call.
Call
Call.
is made. Shows the boat. Kothari's bluff
Good hand.
failed. 3 streets of betting. Geeng just calls him down with the full house, rakes in the chips, and now sitting on 8.3 million, Donnie. He has 165 big blinds.
Huge lead for Geeng here.
Call full pot? Probably. Quicker,
I
right?
think he's calling everything.
Quick, probably.
I think so. You have to call, right?
I
Yeah,
think
you
so.
have to call.
All right, final chance here to submit
Curious what
your
you do on a brick river, though.
F1 predictions in the chat.
Don't know.
Or do you raise?
No, never,
Never raise, right?
never raise.
Yep.
If I make quads, I raise.
You just didn't believe I had it, huh?
150.
Hot.
475.
Wow, Kothari, Donnie, into overdrive. 3 barrels. Didn't work, and now he's going to come with the re-raise before the flop.
475, right?
Yes.
Geeng is making the call here. We don't know Kothari's hand
Yeah, sure.
just yet.
Maybe he hasn't looked yet, Donnie.
I think he's looked. Look at that. That's a nice, pretty one. Ace, king, king, jack. Suited to the ace with hearts.
10, 8, 6, or
Check.
as someone would call it, who has ace, king, king, jack, garbage flop. Exactly the opposite of what he was looking for. Still 50-50 here, as
1.20.
players have lots of card coverage going back and forth. Geeng did hit that 10.
Just over $1 million out there. These two, first and second in chips, going to war once again. 7 of diamonds on the turn. Geeng now makes a straight, a 10-9 straight. He has a lock on this hand as long as it goes to a showdown. Kothari checks. Geeng checks behind. If this one goes to a showdown, Kothari might
Check.
eject from his seat a little bit.
Checked all the way to the river. Kothari again with the check.
350.
350.
Small bet from Geeng. Kothari taking his time here on the river. Makes the call, flicks it in, and Geeng shows the straight. Kothari silent.
Yeah, I think that silence is actually speaking volumes from Kothari.
350, right?
350.
Nice sound. What a beautiful turn. Told you
Wow.
pretty light. One pair. Just blocking
Daniel
all the
Geeng.
shades, so.
In 2 hands, Donnie, up to 9.1 million,
And the flushes.
and complete domination possible here. Eelis Parssinen hasn't played a hand in the last 40 minutes, it feels like.
A tilt call from that last hand.
Oh, the chat was saying it earlier that he's maybe on tilt. Well, Eelis Parssinen doesn't mind it. He is still our short stack, but all of a sudden with a much better chance of getting to heads-up play. All right, I did my draw for the winners for the 2 gift cards. If you hear your name called,
150.
send an email to social@pokergo.com with a screenshot of you logged into your YouTube account, excuse me. Winner number 1, Planet OPM. And winner number 2, Gandia Orange, or Gandia Orange. Congratulations, you guys
You play 1.4.
or girls both get a $25 PokerGo shop
No,
gift card.
just
1,450.
Thank you.
Donnie, who you got there on the PokerGo chat?
You?
I got my 2 winners. One of them is
Yep.
a guest username, so I'll say the last 4 digits of that guest username. Guest 1105.
Okay.
And then Christy.
Christy.
Our mod was double dipping here.
No way.
Yeah, yeah.
Clever. Very clever. Well done, Christy. You can double dip, so you got 2 chances if you're a PokerGo subscriber.
I have let our Minister of Merch,
Minister of
Patrick Knight, know
Wow.
about the winners. He will be reaching out to the SVOD winners, and then Remko gave you guys the rules for the YouTube winners.
Yeah, YouTube should really have a way for me to directly contact you guys. That'd be way easier.
Call.
Kothari here just continues to be involved.
Donnie, you can't win if you keep folding.
Here we see Geeng opens it up from the big blind. He's up to enough chips that he's just going to blast away and really put the screws to his opponents here. Kothari folds after limping. Karakutkov now has the decision here.
How much do you have now? Like 7? 8? That hand was huge, right? It was like 3 million, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Just can't help myself.
Karakutukov's going to come along here. King, Queen, Jack 9 for him. Geeng has the Jack 8-7-6 double suited. One suit for Karakutkov. 10-4-3, all clubs.
Always such an action killer when you get such a monotone flop. Either you have it or you don't, or they both don't have it, and then they both sort of play it cautiously. It's funny how in bot limit Omaha, the wetter the texture, the more chances of aggression.
Karakutkov check calls 100,000 from Geeng. Deuce of diamonds on the turn. I mean, just some absolute powerhouse hands here going at it. Check, check there on the turn. 10 pairs of the board on the river. Karakutkov gets the check mark here with the old King, Queen high. Could we see a bluff with the best hand?
$230.
230 and a quick full. Donnie, spot on there.
230.
230 now.
Hmm? Yeah, I did.
A welcome pot getting pulled into Karakutukov's stack there. Giving himself a little bit of separation over Eelis Parssinen.
Thank you. There you go.
Parssinen looking about as bored as humanly possible for a Finnish poker pro at a PLO final table. I mean, he's just got to be hating it.
Yeah, he's an action man, and
It's like he's laughing because he knows that he's just in hell right now.
he's just a spectator at this point.
Can I just get like like the 10-7, 6-5 double suited or something?
Right.
Get me in there.
Just give me a draw.
He doesn't need much. Parssinen does not need much.
The fact that it doesn't take much is also the reason why PLO is so popular in Finland. These players love the action.
We don't have a break after this level, right? It's okay, the mic won't pick up feedback if I eat? All right, thank you.
A little lunch break perhaps for Kothari here.
Could see a clash on this flop. Geeng flops
There's how much?
a king high flush draw, also a pair of sixes. Parssinen's got him beat all around. He's got the better flush draw. He's got top pair, top kicker. Pre-flop, Geeng raised it from the small blind, and Parssinen defended from the big blind. Pot size bet here from Geeng. Parssinen pots it.
Wow.
Geeng goes back. Here we go. We're all in.
All in and a call here. Geeng with 10 outs to send Parssinen to the rail. He doesn't get involved often, but when he does.
Oh, let me win one all in against you.
Parssinen's got to be loving the position that he's in right here.
Don't let me be drawing dead on the turn, please. Give me a sweat on the river, okay?
Jack.
Jack is dead too. No spade, no jack.
Pärssinen, top pair, nut flush draw. Geeng looking for a king, a queen, an 8 or a 6. Can't see a spade, or else this hand is over immediately.
Right?
Yeah, that's not fair.
Here's a turn. It is the queen. The offsuit queen comes in. Pärssinen.
Pretty bad card. Fucking hell.
Pärssinen stating the obvious here. Poor card for him. 12 outs now for the Finn. River card is the 7 of hearts. That's not going to do it. And Danie Geeng's insane dominance continues.
You want to talk?
Wow.
You want to talk?
10.3 million chips for Danie Geeng.
I'll take. Yes.
Kothari and Karakutkov, simple spectators at this final table as Geeng just dominates the action. He's up to over 200 big blinds.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. At least you were nice about it. No,
Sorry,
he talked about it before, and you were nice about it. So
Yeah.
I respect that, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Only big.
Kothari there mentioning that the players might want to break to talk about a deal. Danie Geeng politely says, listen, guys, I got too many chips here. I got 70% of the chips in play, so
I think I'm forgetting, right? All right, sorry.
I think I'm just going to go for it all.
All right, good luck, boys. Congrats for top 3. Yo, congrats, bro.
You guys too. Hey, it was
Had to run that bluff on him, so there's no deal.
the 3 of us lucky meeting outside. Three of us.
Yeah. I mean, we all knew, right? Right? Come on.
What did you know? I want to know. I feel like I'm out. I'm like on the outside here. Like, let me in on the secret.
And that's when you have
What did they know that we didn't know?
Six-
that these were going to be the final 3? Like that.
Right.
18.
Okay.
69% of all the
Yeah,
chips in play
2.78.
for Danie Geeng.
Pärssinen in there going out in 4th place. Moves him up to only 2nd place on the series leaderboard. So it's still Benjamin Juhasz in front.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, show them the trash you're playing, bro.
Please.
All right, 3-handed play. By the way, Eelis Parssinen collected $187,500. The remaining 3 guaranteed $243.
So what this means now for the series leaderboard is it's down to Benjamin Juhasz, who is currently the leader, and he finished in, what was it, 5th place at this final table. He's currently the leader with 365 points. Danie Geeng can win the series title, but he has to finish 2nd or better. So
Wow.
right now he's looking pretty darn good. As long as he doesn't blow this massive chip lead that he has,
Do you mind?
Geeng
Do you mind
should
if I use
become
the restroom
the
really quick?
series winner.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, let's go, guys. Come on.
This winter, WSOP is bringing the heat. This December, the WSOP is coming to Atlantis, and they're bringing $50 million guaranteed, with buy-ins as low as $1,000 or as high as $100,000. There's going to be 15 World Series of Poker Bracelet events, and a $5,000 main event with a juicy $15 million guarantee. So who wants to come make history with me and win some bracelets in paradise?
Through the magic of our dynamic delay, we've chopped the breakout
Playing with you both.
action back underway.
I didn't play much with, but
Kothari just
Barely
so grateful for the situation that he's in. You love to see it. Massive spot right here. Big title on the line.
150.
What are you guys thinking in the chat? Is Geeng going to get it done, or do you guys still see chances for Kothari and Karakutkov?
Anything can happen. I mean, I know Geeng is very much got one hand on the trophy with this chip lead that he has, but we've seen some crazier things in poker, of course.
Danie Geeng, by the way, only has pot limit Omaha cashes on his Hendon mob. Not a single hold'em result among his caches. Geeng gets it done with a bet here. If you're Karakutkov and Kothari, you almost have this sense of relief that you've made it this far, and it could get you into a false sense of security and perhaps making you want to gamble a bit too much. We know Kothari doesn't like backing down. Geeng here. Jack 9-8-7, one suit. He's going to fire back at his opponent, and Kothari
One's good.
lets it go right away.
Oh, didn't see.
I think Geeng here should just really open it up. I mean, he's got free will to do whatever he wants.
You have anything?
Yeah, it's his tournament to lose now, and I wonder if that brings some added pressure.
And his opponents are both, you know, they're still deep enough
No,
where it's meaningful for them to commit a lot of chips to a pot. If they were severely short, like we've seen in the past at some of these final tables over the course of the series, then maybe they just stick it in and gamble, right?
Right.
But here, Kothari on 48 big blinds, Karakutkov on 31 big blinds, you know. If Geeng just keeps ramping up the aggression pre-flop, then it's really going to put these other opponents in some tricky spots when they're trying to make heads-up play.
Yeah, you know what's funny? The average stack right now is 99 big blinds. But Geeng has 220 of them.
Skewed heavily because of Geeng.
We could be in for a 14-hour final table if Geeng doubles up both his opponents. All of a sudden, we're playing super deep stack three-handed PLO. But for now, Geeng controls the action as the two shorter stacks go at it here on the flop. Karakutkov with a pair of kings. Kothari, open-ended. Shout out to the average gamer for the $2 donation. Another $2 for the magical delay cut. There we go. Appreciate it. We should cut more breaks. We can make some real money off this.
3.
300,000.
Kothari bets 300K with the open-ended draw. And Karakutkov, excuse me, hits a set on the turn. Karakutkov lets it go.
I forgot what that felt like. Weighing a hand.
One hand drawn until the blinds go up.
$150.
150,000.
Six, eight, 7 rolls off the deck as we have all three players involved here. Action quickly checks around. Deuce of clubs hits on the turn. Geeng with a straight has the best of it here. Kothari always willing to throw some money into the middle. Bets 300K. 10 being his only out here to make a better straight. Feels though Geeng is very happy to let Kothari bluff whatever sort of the scenario is. River is the king of diamonds. Kothari left with just a pair of deuces.
Check. Check.
I missed.
Action goes check, check. Geeng happy to show down a straight here. Maybe could have gone for a bit of value there. Nothing really indicated that Kothari had the goods there, Donnie.
Yeah, but I mean, I think the way that Geeng's been playing, I think he's just happy just to check behind there, take the pot, not get himself into any sort of tricky situation. Just about 20 big blinds now for Karakutkov. He's the shortest stack of these three.
Potty.
Quick pot from Geeng after Karakutkov limps, and Geeng shows the aces.
That's it.
Ace, ace, king eight with one suit. Gotta love it. We are three-handed here in the $25,000 PLO Championship as part of the second edition of the PGT PLO Series. Players guaranteed $243,000 in prize money. Second place worth $337,000. First place, almost $500,000, $487,500. There was a brief talk of possibly trying to work out some sort of deal, but Danie Geeng said, respectfully, guys, I got too big of a chip lead, so I'm just going to play for the win here.
Can't really fault him.
Yeah,
with
you cannot fault him for doing that.
Also seems as though Kothari is willing to risk it and willing to play for it, while Karakutkov is happy to just sit back.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in Karakutukov's shoes and you see Kothari willing to stay active and get in there, then yeah, you can just kind of sit back. I know you got a bit fewer chips than Kothari has, but maybe he missteps and goes out in third place, and you can ladder yourself up into second place. As we see Kothari here battling with Geeng. Geeng still second best, but gets an interesting turn card here. Nine on the river. That makes a queen high straight for Geeng. The chip leader continues to run hot against Kothari.
He can't miss.
I win.
Yes, you do. You have the nuts, sir. Kothari with a little bit of a hand funeral there before kicking it in.
Wrapped around the 10. Yeah. 10.
Geeng has just gotten the best of him for the large majority of the pots that they've played.
You turned gin.
Yeah.
Not many better cards on that flop on the turn.
I wasn't going to fold.
I wasn't trying to bet you off. I had a showdown hand. With potential.
Flush draw?
No comments.
$180.
action on Karakutkov, who is more than happy to stay patient, probably anticipating a big clash between Kothari and Geeng for all that remains of the man who was chip leader for a brief period of time at the final table, Donnie.
He was. Seems like every big pot has just not gone his way, other than maybe 1 or 2 today.
I mean, you can never claim that he's not trying.
For sure. I mean, he's in there. He's battling.
If a few hands break his way, then he could all of a sudden be really back into this thing. Because with the amount of aggression that he's shown, he's likely to get paid off if he does have it.
Pot.
And he's right back involved here. Ace, King, 10-3 on the button. Raises the pot.
Can I win a hand against him? Is it possible?
Geeng's in there, and Kothari
He won
immediately
literally
says,
every hand
bro,
that we played.
all you do is beat me in
running
pots.
very
Take
hot.
one off. King, Queen, 6. 2 clubs. This one could be interesting. Pair of queens for Geeng with the nut flush draw. Kothari flops top pair, top kicker. Went check, check on the flop. It's going check, check again on the turn. Kothari here with the check mark, so if he doesn't fold, he's going to finally pull one in from Geeng.
He might celebrate this a little bit.
4.
He's going to try and get some value here. 400,000 into 510. Not a snap fold from here from Geeng. I mean, we've seen Kothari bluff at times before, and he's specifically bluffed against Geeng.
I was shopping at every point.
Geeng does lay it down. No show that time from Kothari.
Karakutkov, meanwhile, not playing a lot of hands.
think
His
it's about to
stack
turn around.
dwindling to 17 big blinds.
What do you have? 1 million?
1 point, yeah, 150. You?
1.9. I'm big, right? All right. Pot.
Karakutkov gets out of the way, and Geeng immediately pots it from the small blind. Kothari's got a nice one here. Could see him go to war with this one. Ace, King, 10-6, double suited. All right, he's in there. These two are going to battle once again. I know you just brought up how Karakutkov is just kind of hanging there, and his stack is getting shorter every time the blinds go around, but he's got to be loving the fact that he's just able to sit there, and these guys are just going to war.
Exactly right. Karakutkov just hoping for a blow-up to happen at some point between these two. Obviously, Kothari has a chance to win a big blow-up like that, and all of a sudden then Karakutkov will be in a really tough position if that were to happen.
Could be some fireworks here. Top 2 for Geeng. Kothari flops the straight, though. Geeng check calls 300,000 here. 6 on the turn. Kothari's straight is still best.
Pot.
Geeng now has 3 pair.
Oops, sorry.
Immediate pot size bet here from Kothari. Our man does not take a lot of time.
I think you are going to take this one down.
That sounds like a
Flop, though.
player ready to fold.
Ay-ya.
Ah, Geeng lets it go, and like I said, if Kothari starts chipping
right.
up, all of a
2
sudden
in a row.
we're going to
Yeah,
have a real
I
battle.
mean, you can't win every hand for like 6 hours. Let's just say.
Maybe a different
there's
chip
people
leader
that are
there,
watching,
and
they're like, what
that
if
money
Fish
goes
is
in on the
losing
flop,
every
right?
chip?
Yeah.
I mean,
Hand
he's
to
got
his
top
guy,
pair, he's got a
maybe
straight
just,
draw,
like,
top two
sunrunning.
pair, he's got a straight draw, did
Literally
king.
sunrunning.
I've had a lot of big hands the last 30 minutes.
I'm sure.
Danie Geeng still in the driver's seat, like Donnie said. All he needs is top 2 to lock up the overall PGT PLO Series. That comes with a 25K cash bonus. Is there an additional trophy?
Good question. I think so.
Okay.
I believe so.
So he might be double fisting.
I believe you get the cup, one of the cups,
Oh,
one
cool.
of the gold cups.
Nice. Payouts for this event are in the video description. First place, 487,000. Second, 337, and third, 243. Karakutkov looking for anything to play at this point. Knows that he cannot allow Kothari to run him over.
Wow, it's 750.
8.
Okay.
Ace 7-5 rainbow flop. Karakutkov flops 2 pair. Great situation here for the Bulgarian. Assuming Kothari has an ace from Karakutkov's perspective, his 2 pair might be in the lead here. Or maybe I'll say likely in the lead here. Backdoor diamonds also for Karakutkov, and he moves all in for 500K more. Kothari studies his options and
I have 1 pair.
has to let it go. Wow.
Nice.
Costly continuation bet there.
I'm sure you could beat that. I was way out of line in that hand. Just letting you know.
Kothari, an honest man who tried to pull off a little bit of a bluff.
Sometimes you apply pressure, you look like a genius. Sometimes you look like an idiot, right?
It's nothing wrong to bet fold. I mean,
Yeah.
Six, right?
Karakutkov with a nice double suited king 9-8-6.
Pot it.
Oh, wow. Geeng fights back right away. Karakutkov a little bit deeper than before, 25 big blinds. Out of position.
raise pot.
And he raises pot back over the top.
1.7.
One. I'm played 40.
No, a little less.
I have
A million behind, right?
yes.
Okay. 540 it is? 540. I call.
Wow, look at this. These guys are battling, Donnie. The stacks are a little deeper, and all of a sudden we're seeing flops here. Karakutkov has less than a pot-sized bet left. If we see hearts or spades or any sort of draw, I'm thinking he's going to be all in here right away. And there it is. Spades on the flop for Karakutkov. Nut spades as well. That's going to have to make him feel a whole lot better. Having some nut outs, always helpful. Glancing over at his stack. Look at this. He's going to go small.
You win, Mr. Tight Range.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Everyone chipping up again.
Yep.
Well, I'm
Danie
out.
Geeng picking up on the trends here. Both his opponents now to 30
What's
and
the jump?
35
It's
big blinds.
104,000?
It's-
Around 103,000?
Yeah.
That hand that you guys just played for was potentially like a $210,000 pot.
Getting pretty big.
Still three-handed here in case you're just tuning in. Event 9 of the PGT PLO Series. My name is Remko Rinkema. Donnie Peters alongside me. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We're doing our next giveaway at
Matt,
300
Tom,
likes.
That one good. You prefer Matt or Matthew? Matthew, right? Okay. Who it is? Depends on who it is. That was the hand I tried to bluff you with. I remember doing this to other people. I think you and I did that for most of last night.
Yeah, last night.
We were just torturing them.
Oh man, last night was fun.
Dude,
The whole table was short.
yeah, I was torturing my table.
I was pretending to look.
Did you
look
tell
at
him
my
about
cards.
the 4-bet at the end of the night, 2 hands to go? He raised.
Oh, one ace, 9, 7.
Yeah.
Toward the end of last night, I was pretending to look at my cards big.
And you just weren't even looking, right? Yeah, exactly.
I'm not sure if Veselin saw or not.
No, I didn't. So.
I wasn't looking. I was just, okay, let's raise it.
We need some of that now.
180.
We don't need to be looking with this chip lead. 74% of the chips in play. Just fire it in there.
Oops.
Kothari here forced to take a couple hands off.
Oh, we got some Karakutkov fans in the chat. Dave Fry, LFG Kara. Love to see it. Who are you guys rooting for in the chat? Let me put up a poll. It's not often, Donnie, that we see 3 relatively unknown players play inside our studio for these kinds of stakes. So it's kind of exciting to have someone here take down what is basically the biggest title of their career if they pull this off.
Yeah, we've seen Geeng a couple times already at this PGT PLO Series. We saw Kothari over the summer making a deep run in the WSOP main event, came in 30th there. Karakutkov has had some success over the last week or so playing PLO, but the Dealer's Choice event, which we didn't stream, and then one of the Aria High Roller Pot Limit Omaha events, which also wasn't streamed. Made the final table of both of those. But if you remember a couple years ago, I believe it was the 25K Pot Limit Omaha tournament at the WSOP, the one that Sean Deeb won. Karakutkov was at that final table. $500,000 is the bet here from Geeng. Kothari looks like he wants to fold, and he doesn't want to fold. All right, he does fold.
What do you have right now? You have
There
over
you
2?
see the enormous stack of
count.
Danie Geeng. The blues are 5K, the greens are 25K, and the whites
If I pop the flop, you're going.
are the white hot 100Ks.
1.8.
I have the naked ace of clubs.
So on the turn, you had nothing either, right?
I made a straight.
Oh, you made it straight.
Yeah, ace five.
Oh, you had ace five. Yeah, just the wheel, right?
That wheel.
I have 1.8.
1.8. You can see it's one and then dust.
1, 2.
One and then dust.
Rolls
It's
reverse.
a good way to describe your stack. I like
If
it.
club comes, you are gonna get paid. I was just gonna bet by jam there.
Yeah, I should have just shipped the flop, but I had 3 clubs in my hand.
Still three-handed here, although it does seem like we're playing
Nice
heads
size
up
20
between
points.
Geeng and Kothari. Karakutkov is on the right out of your screen right now, but kind of just sitting on the sidelines watching these two play the majority of pots against one another. Geeng on the button makes it 180,000. Kothari's in there with the call. Karakutkov elects to get out of the way, let these two go to battle once again. Geeng will have position.
Check.
Kothari checks in the dark. 8-8-6. 2 diamonds. Kothari has in 8. He also has the king 7 of diamonds. Geeng checks behind. 4 on the turn. Pot size bet announced from Kothari. That gets it done. Geeng puts his hand into the muck quickly. Kothari takes one to chip back up a little bit, closing the gap between he and Karakutkov. Three-handed here. $25,000 buy-in Pot Limit Omaha Championship as part of the 2nd edition of the PGT PLO Series. These 3 players playing for a $487,000 first place prize. Geeng is also playing for the series title and $25,000 championship bonus. As we see, Kothari here finds 2 aces. Ace, ace, jack 5. He's also got ace 5 of hearts in his hand. Karakutkov out of the way. Geeng's going to make the call with 8-7 3 deuce. His hearts are covered, but Geeng has 2 diamonds as well. Nine, 8, 5, 2 spades, 1 heart. Percentages are 50-50 here. Check from Geeng, 200,000 is the bet from Kothari. Let's see how Geeng decides to play this one. Does make the call. Sticking with similar style to what he's done in the past. King of Hearts on the turn. Okay. We get a bit interesting here. Both players turning a heart flush draw. Kothari's, of course, is best. He's got nut hearts. Geeng checks. Kothari goes for pot. 910,000 is the bet.
Veselin's just watching us, you know.
Yeah.
That is very true. We've seen Geeng in the past maneuver his way out of these tricky spots where he's got, you know, a good enough hand, decent amount of equity, but ultimately dodges the big clash. Folds this one as well. Shows that 8-7 of hearts.
Ooh.
Kothari showed, I think, the ace-5 of hearts, so letting Geeng know that he got off the hook. Maybe he showed the 2 aces. I didn't see exactly, but
Definitely gonna go watch that.
nevertheless,
I'm
pot
trying to win
going
this thing. He's trying to get
Kothari's
something.
way.
I'm just being honest.
Kothari here now leapfrogs Karakutkov on the leaderboard. He's up into 2nd. Not by much, but still up into 2nd. Karakutkov out of the way, and a couple kings in the hole here for Geeng. He limps in.
No more loosey-goosey.
Kothari's got 3 deuces. Queen Jack 8, all hearts.
Playing tight now.
Kothari's
No good.
going to take a stab here for the pot, and
On that texture, it's a very easy fold.
he takes it down. These players all guaranteed $243,000 in prize money. Nearly a $100,000 pay jump. I think it's $94,000 between third and second.
180.
180 is the raise here from Geeng on the button. Yoon S said, how is Geeng making correct folds all the time? He really is. I mean, I think it's just about his playing style. He plays, I would describe it as defensive and conservative, doesn't really take too big of shots, doesn't go throwing too many haymakers like we've seen from some of the players during the course of this series. But, you know, that allows him to
I'm the same height.
kind of bob and weave, get himself out of the way, take some jabs here and there, and then when he's got his high equity holdings, he you know, takes his shots there. It's done well for him so far.
You saw that?
I think he's quite happy.
Yeah, he's actually pretty happy watching us.
Yeah, he's like, go, go, someone bust.
Yeah.
Someone hit a gut shot and bust someone.
One
Yeah.
time. You had gut shot in a pair and a force draw.
I had so many outs there.
Yeah, right?
But he popped. So I'm like, okay, scared.
Geeng came into this $25,000 PLO championship with 3 prior cashes during the series.
Check it.
He came 11th in the event number 2, $7,500 PLO bounty. He came 14th in event number 3, the $10,000 PLO. And then he finished 2nd in event number 4, the $15,000 PLO progressive bounty, finishing runner-up there to Adam Hendricks. Geeng now finds himself in the final 3 with a dominating chip lead in this $25,000 championship event.
Must have used a lot of these in the tournaments, right?
Do you use any at all? No way.
3.
Oh, you. I was running very short until this final table. These final. Yeah, right. They're quite valuable because this water is so deep. You need to think.
You need to
about
think.
it.
Yeah.
It's not like those 20 BB tournaments. Just shove,
It's somewhat of a turbo structure. A lot of hands play themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Big blind, right?
Got it. King covered.
Danie Geeng doing a great job so far at keeping both Kothari and Karakutkov at bay. Both players, however, still comfortable in that 30 big blind range, not really having a whole lot to stress about. Speaking of stress, you won't have any if you're wearing one of these comfortable PokerGO hoodies. We got No Gamble, No Future, High Stakes Poker, and a whole bunch more available at shop.pokergo.com. Go check it out right now. And maybe you'll win another merch gift card if you're lucky. We're going to do our next giveaway at 300 likes in the video. Still quite a few believers in both Karakutkov and Kothari. The poll that I posted, Danie Geeng getting 46% of the votes. He currently has 76% of all the chips in play. Geeng attacking from the button again. Kothari, of course, wants to tag along, play a pot.
Family pot. Check.
They got 3 clubs on the flop. Geeng with the ace of clubs, giving him the best chance to bluff at it. As far as the odds go, Kothari with the best of it here now, but this hand could get funky as Kothari might use that ace of clubs to his advantage. Kothari with the snap call on this monotone flop. Karakutkov gets out of the way. Board pairs on the turn, bringing an 8 out there. Neither player with an 8. Kothari hoping to sneak showdown here as Geeng asks how much is in the pot. Geeng, of course, full well realizing that he won't win without betting 700K. Kothari in a near impossible spot, but we've seen him make opportunistic calls in the past. This one would be brilliant. His pair of 9s is best here. Kothari seriously considering it here. This would be a very impressive call if he manages to find it. He's probably asking himself, what do I give Geeng credit for? What could he possibly have? Especially after Geeng check behind on the turn.
Do you have anything?
Kothari asking the right question here. A call here could do wonders not only for his stack, but also his confidence. Burning out our time chip. Gotta praise Kothari here for thinking about it. Wow, he makes the call. What a call from Kothari.
Wow.
Just a 9.
That's cool.
Thank you. Good call.
This is a massive game changer potentially as Kothari chips up to over 3 million.
You weren't kidding about trying to win this tournament, huh? You weren't kidding about trying to win this tournament.
Was not.
At the ace of clubs, obviously.
Geeng did bluff with the ace of clubs. Perhaps a second and third barrel on the turn and river would have gotten it done, but that would have meant putting Kothari at risk for his tournament life.
Pot.
And look at this, Karakutkov trying to see a cheap flop. Geeng not allowing it.
Of course.
Karakutkov comes along though. King 7, 6, 3 double suited. Very pretty looking hand. Ace, King 9 rolls off the deck. A king for Karakutkov along with the clubs. Not too shabby.
$180.
Geeng using his big stack to show aggression. However, Karakutkov with a real hand here. He's going to make the call. Turn card is the ace of spades. Neither player with an ace. Geeng is going to get real aggressive if he wants to take this one down. Wow, look at that. Another ace on the river, and all of a sudden,
There's a drink that's spilled inside my
Geeng
burger.
makes a full house with his pair of sevens. The beauty of pot limit Omaha.
I think it's dripping.
Karakutkov hits his flush, but the three aces on board give Geeng, the only player with a pocket pair, a full house.
How much is in the pot?
780 in the middle. What a twist. What a twist.
Check. Flush. Got there.
Geeng did get there. Wow.
It's not bad at all. It's just starting now, yeah.
That was a nasty river card, Donnie.
It's good to be Geeng. I mean, he knows it too. A little bit of a laugh at the end there, like, huh, you know, I got there. Some days you eat the bear. Some days the bear eats you, man. Isn't that how it goes?
100%.
Pot. Oh, ever since you said you don't win a hand against me, you've won like every one.
I mean, you won like 20 hands against me, so it's like, still haven't caught up.
True story.
And I've had to work for mine, right?
Yes.
For you, it's just like, oh, how much in there? 500.
King 8-4 here on the flop between Geeng and Kothari. Geeng raised from the small blind. Kothari defended the big blind. Check, check on the flop. 7 on the turn. Check, check again. 7 on the river. Trip 7s here for Kothari.
Pot.
After Geeng check, Kothari went for a full pot bet, 420,000. Geeng is now in the tank here. Knows his man has tried to bluff before, so he's going to use at least one time extension here to think it over.
Call. I got it.
Makes the call. Kothari's going to show him those 3 7s
Wow.
20, right?
and pull in the pot.
Kothari, unstoppable as of late. Doing a really good job at staying in the game.
Geeng finally starting to show he's got some vulnerabilities there.
I mean,
Things finally aren't going his way.
with
Yep, that should be
with
it.
how aggressive these guys are playing, it's literally still anyone's game.
Yeah, and they're all still, you know, healthy enough. I mean, I know Karakutov is short on 17 big blinds, but it's not like he's short on 7 big blinds. You know, he's got some playability there. He can make some things happen. Of course, one double up for him puts him right back into the game, and then Kothari's working on 62 big blinds, which is nice and healthy.
150. Change it up eventually.
It's going to be interesting to see how Geeng, I guess, composes himself or how he handles this sort of situation. I mean, tournament poker has its ups and downs. It can be one heck of a roller coaster. We've seen plenty of players with very big chip leads ultimately not come out on top,
Yeah.
and that's just the way things go. So
How much more? Can you pull
mainly a
150?
cash game player by trade. We'll see if Geeng can settle in and
375.
You only have 375.
handle the
more.
roller coaster that presents itself
385.
here.
385. How much is in there? Wow, I feel like I'm gonna get there.
Kothari
How do you fold
loves
that?
himself
Oh my God.
some queen
But
10
I
9
just feel
7
like he
action,
has
but
a monster. Like he probably has like ace ace king queen in my head instead.
Double suited.
Double suited?
Wow.
What happened? Huh? Yeah, I wanted to shrug it. Live to fight another hand. I don't know if it's me or him, but one of us lived to fight another hand.
Well, you were gonna live regardless.
Regardless. I just got these chips. I want to feel them a little bit, you know? Thank you.
Geeng still over 10 million,
Is he
but
gonna be-
his
is
two
he gonna be
opponents
around
are
later?
not laying down, Donnie.
Is that guy going to be around later? Yeah, I just wanted to tip him because he cleaned up, you know? Yeah. I'll do it later before I head out. Yeah. Thanks. If I forget, could you please remind me?
Yeah, we're going to hold you to that there.
Cole.
Let's go. Sorry, I'm like figuring a math in my head, so I'm a little out of it.
That's what math does to me as well. King 3-4 as two very similar hands go at it here. Nice wrap there for Geeng with 6-5 deuce.
And he's also got spades working.
8 of hearts on the turn.
Easy game. You see me time bank down, and you're just like, pot? No, you have it?
Fold wrap flush draw.
Nice.
So pretty.
So what you're saying is you're getting hands again.
I mean, the jack deuce 5-6. That's not a real hand, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good flop.
Good flop, though. So you're hitting flops again. Let me clarify.
About damn time.
Yeah. you've been
Never,
so
never
unlucky.
satisfied.
$150. See, Veselin thinks his weakness.
4 diamonds here for Geeng. Doesn't prevent him from raising, though. Kothari comes along with jacks and 8-6, and Karakutkov is double suited, so we're going to see three-way action here.
Like 1-1-1.
1-1. Okay.
How much is in the pot? 510. Pot.
510 back.
Geeng continues to maintain his chip stack above the 10 million mark. By the way, for those that are watching, and I see that there are quite a few of you, what are you guys up to at home? Is it dinner time, breakfast time, lunch time? Perhaps time for a beverage? Maybe call in some pizza? Donnie and I just had a little meal break. You guys probably didn't even notice. A little pita action, Donnie, with some... I mean, I had chicken. I'm sure you had the falafel.
I did. It was very good.
Pot.
My blinds are not out yet, right?
You gotta put the
You wi-
Would you prefer I don't do that?
No, I just like this.
In a certain place, right? Yeah. Yeah, because you deal it a certain way, right? Everyone has their little mannerisms, right?
Christy says, almost dessert time. Love me some desserts. Karakutkov with queens, 6-5. Russell, a little dinner in front of his computer, as always, I'm sure. Asian Sleepy says, dinner, pizza. To the point. What kind of pizza, though? That's the question. Dave Fry says, 2:30 a.m. pizza in the oven. Living the dream. King 8-8, 2 diamonds on the flop. Karakutukov's queens are still best. However, not easy to draw that conclusion from this board and any potential action versus a player like Kothari, who is always willing to battle, as all of a sudden that queen on the turn gives him a full house. Karakutkov now with a lock on the game. On the hand, I should say. Actually goes check, check again. 3 on the river. And Kothari quickly bets pot. That is music to the ears of the Bulgarian. Karakutkov taking his time here. Probably going to hear him announce a pot size re-raise in just a few. There it is. He moves all in. All right. Kothari, again, gave it his best. And it would have worked if his opponent didn't have it, you know.
Nope.
Got
to respect the aggressive playing style.
Ace I flush too on top of that.
Stacks are still deep.
This stream is
Kothari.
fun to watch later.
Oh, 100%.
So many hands I have questions about.
I'm looking forward to it. I think you have a lot of questions about just one hand. How did he call me with the pair of nines?
Well, that hand I saw your cards. I'm talking about their.
Oh, like where you're like, what did he have?
Yeah, where I don't see the cards. Yeah, that hand is a mystery by itself.
Yeah, I really need to see your hand there too. Timestamp it. 11 minutes left in this level. Call.
Yeah, how how do you call with just a 9 there? No clubs in your hand, right?
It's going to be analyzed by the pros. Maybe they'll be able to help you out.
I'll run it by a solver tonight.
Yeah.
See what it says. Ay, yeah.
Queen for queen here on the flop. Karakutkov with a queen. Action goes check, check in this blind battle. Not a whole lot to fight for here, but can only imagine Karakutkov going to try to see if he can extract some more chips from Kothari here. Small bet and a call. River brings a 10 of clubs. Karakutkov again with a full house. Kothari fortunate to not make a real hand here.
$235.
235.
All your bluffs being blocked by that one card. Mini heater confirmed.
Oh yeah, coming back.
What do you have?
I had a good hand.
No. What do you have here? Like
Oh,
in
okay.
chips, yeah.
You have to be more specific.
What do you have? I guess, yeah, that is a little ambiguous. I'm glad to see we're all laughing, though. That's what it's all about.
1.8. You?
3? A little less, 2.9.
So you guys are very close.
I mean, let's see what happens in the next level when his stack becomes nothing.
Raise pot.
I fold.
Such a pretty hand to like crack aces, crack kings.
Are you double suited?
Correct. Yeah.
Double suited ace 5.
Bro, I'm you want
Nine
to
deuce.
bet? Can we side bet this hand that you just have me dead?
Yeah, you can side bet
Can
whatever
you just show it
want.
or no?
Yeah,
Show it. It's not even. There's no
No.
information. No. Okay. I
Kothari
promise, if you showed that,
livening
hand,
things
how I
up a
played
little
would
bit.
not have changed. Was the open 210, and you gave me 90 back, right? Exactly.
Sling catching some hands now.
He's catching some hands.
Heater.
Heater confirmed.
Wow, he's on fire.
150,000.
Let me put that fire out real quick. Check to the power.
Dark check from Kothari. Not the first time we've seen it. Karakutkov checks back. 6 of hearts on the turn. No one's got even a single heart in their hand. Kothari comes out with 300,000. Karakutkov puts his hand into the muck.
Yeah, I can do that.
Ooh. Put out
Kothari
the
stays
fire.
true to his word there and put outs the fire.
You ever played the game back? You're from Taiwan, so I'm not sure, but there's a basketball game called NBA Jams. So basically the concept is that if you make enough points in a row, you get on fire and you can do these cool tricks. But then if you miss a shot, then the fire goes away. So that was my reference there.
I see.
I think it was 3 baskets in a row and you're on fire.
You guys are really,
2 in a
really
row and
close
you're
against
heating up.
No. But you can keep trying to make him feel better.
One of the best
You
video
want him
games
to get
ever.
and not me,
NBA
right?
Jam.
With the
Don't
big
go,
heads.
man.
50,000.
Yeah, the
No
big heads,
preference.
2v2.
Yep.
510.
510.
Look at this. See, I show my good cards. So pretty.
3-bet from Kothari, gets it done. Ace, king, queen, queen, double
Oh.
suited.
Wow.
That is a pretty,
Double
pretty
suited.
hand, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
And what's the next level? 51? Oh, 40, 80, okay.
Gamble, gamble.
Do we have a break after this? Cool.
I raised the full pot.
I was going to say, make it a little spicy.
We go.
Kothari isn't like cash game mode, Donnie. He's just more than
you
happy
putting
to
your
play
numbers?
as many
Barely,
pots as
barely, right?
possible. Just having fun with it.
Let's make it for a fun final 3 here.
$1.1 million in the middle.
Yeah, Geeng continued for 300,000 on the flop and got called by Kothari. He's going to continue again here on the turn. 700K this time. Kothari's got 2 pair, but it's bottom 2 pair, and that doesn't always look so hot in PLO, especially facing aggression here like he is.
We both know Kothari hates folding, and he comes along again. Saw a little bit of a facial expression there during his turn decision that made me wonder if he was going to let it go there. And this queen on the river, disaster for the brave man.
I got it. Good check.
Ace queen.
Oh, you got it then. You rivered that? Show me the whole thing.
Oh,
I was able to pot the fucking turn. Look at this fucking hand. But I thought you had nothing and you were gonna give me everything on the river. Oh, what a
Wow.
dude! You run so hot. Like, every time I go to induce, you just get there.
Good, good.
Ew. Nice hand.
Thank you.
bit
Geeng almost
frustrating.
feeling bad there.
If I pot the flop, you're in, right?
Out. You pot at any point I'm out, except the river.
Wow.
I mean, the river is. What do you?
The river.
I
call.
can bet anything you call.
Yeah, yeah.
Ew. he was dead to like 6 outs. Sorry, I shouldn't be whining.
We're playing 30K, 60K. Karakutkov, let's go. Kothari now tied with Karakutkov. Both players on 1.8 million. As Danie Geeng
This is the last
again
one. It's 2 minutes.
extends his
So
chip
do
lead.
it too. Flop bottom 2. And I was going to call you the whole way except for that.
Looks like we got a brief break coming up. And you know what that means?
missed a
A
bet on
quick
the
word
river
from our good friend Daniel
So,
Negreanu,
wherever you
who
bet, get out.
is
It's like one of the worst
trying to get you
rivers in the
excited about the upcoming World Series of
But
Poker
if
in
it's a brick
the
river, I
Bahamas.
call all in. So you just shot.
This winter, WSOP is bringing the heat. This December, the WSOP is coming to Atlantis, and they're bringing $50 million guaranteed, with buy-ins as low as $1,000 or as high as $100,000. There's going to be 15 World Series of Poker bracelet events and a $5,000 main event with a juicy $15 million guarantee. So who wants to come make history with me and win some bracelets in paradise?
Question is, who wants to come and play with Daniel Negreanu? Well, we're going to answer another question here on today's live stream. If you're just tuning in, blinds are about to go up to 40K, 80K with the 80K big blind ante. Danie Geeng still overwhelming chip leader with 11.3 million chips. Veselin Karakutkov from Bulgaria, second in chips with 1.9 million. And Mr. Kothari, the chatty man at this table, keeping it lively, keeping it entertaining, playing all sorts of hands as he's trying to chip away at the chip lead, which resulted just before the break in a big hand that he lost as Danie Geeng got a little bit lucky on the river. Donnie, how do you feel about what we're going to see in the next level, as it is pretty clear that we got 2 players going up against 1?
Are they saying anything nice?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're probably going to see much of the same. I know the shorter stacks, Karakutkov and Kothari, are now a little bit shorter with the blinds going up, but that hasn't stopped Kothari before. So I think we're going to see him continue to stay in, as you coined it, cash game mode. See a lot of flops, get in there, stay active, and then we'll probably see Karakutkov just kind of remain on the sidelines like he has, be extremely selective with the pots that he's gotten involved in.
Can I do a Fiji? Yeah, that's perfect.
I think Karakutkov is recognizing the situation that he's in a pretty good position, all things considered, to get a pay jump here. If Geeng and Kothari continue to do battle, it does seem like Kothari wants to live a little bit more dangerously than others might choose to do so in this situation.
Thank you.
And that could ultimately net Karakutkov, you know, an extra $94,000 in prize money. But still a long way to go. The shorter stack still working with more than 20 big blinds, so. And Kothari here is going to work with a couple aces as well. Ace, ace, 7-5 with a suit. Karakutkov going to defend here from the big blind. Jack 10, 6-5 for him. Queen 8 deuce. Rainbow. 300,000 announced from Kothari. Karakutkov gives it up, not going to chase that inside straight.
If you're just joining us for the first time during this PLO series, you've missed quite a bit. And I just want to let you know that all these final tables are available for free on our YouTube and PokerGO channels. So please make sure to brush up on your PLO game by watching some of these as you see fit. The final three right now guaranteed $243,000. Top two will get $337,000, and the winner takes home $487,000. Most interesting development right now is that if Danie Geeng gets into the top two, he will lock up the overall title and the $25K cash bonus. But of course, he's got bigger ambitions than that. He's closing in on a dominant win here in Event 9 of the PGT PLO Series.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool for him to kill two birds with one stone, win this tournament, also win that series championship, get that $25,000 cash bonus. Nice way to close things out here at the second edition of the PGT PLO Series. There is a side event running, a 2K 5-card pot limit Omaha running right now. Live reporting can be found on pgt.com.
Cool. Check.
Check.
Push.
Flush for Karakutkov, and that's going to take it. Small pot, but a pot nonetheless.
The river was not paired, right? River was 6.
No, it wasn't.
No pair.
Sure.
Queen 10, 9-9 with a suit for Karakutkov. On the button, he makes it 200,000 to go. Geeng out of the way. Kothari here in the big blind. King Jack 8-5.
Cool.
He makes the call.
Heads up.
9-8-6, 2 diamonds.
Check.
Top set for the Bulgarian. Kothari checks. 520,000 out there in the middle. 175 is the wager from Karakutkov. Kothari wastes little time in making the call. Kothari is 2% to win this hand. Jack on the turn gives Kothari a little bit more of a chance to win. Now he's got 5%. But Karakutkov still looking good here. Don H in the YouTube chat said, we need a 3-way double bust out.
Wow.
I mean, that'd be quite a way to end it.
It would be. It'd be kind of exciting. Given the stack sizes, however. Pretty unlikely that Kothari and Karakutkov will both commit when Geeng is involved, as they are both
400.
looking for that pay jump also.
400,000 here is the bet from Karakutkov after he was checked to once again.
2,700,000.
Oh,
Here we go.
Wow.
We have
Look
it?
at this.
Yep.
All in on a call, and Karakutkov 95% to double up here.
Karakutkov now with a queen high straight on this turn. He's also got that set of 9s as well that he could fill up with.
Wow.
Kothari's looking about as dead can be. 5% here going to the river. Needs a jack and only a jack.
Oh, yo, set too. Wow, I'm dead to 2 outs.
Oh, all of a sudden it hits
Jackball, 110,
Kothari
goodbye.
like an avalanche. River card
Nice game.
is the Queen of Hearts, and
Queen,
Kothari
double check.
More chips.
thinks
I
that
think
he's
I'm more than
eliminated,
that,
but
Yeah, not out yet. He's going to have a couple 100,000 behind,
Yeah,
and
you do.
I have more chips. Yeah.
enough that he'll be able to have something to try and spin it up with.
Yeah, I have way more. You said 1.405, right?
Kothari looks like he's going to be left with 300,000,
wow.
which is just fewer than 4 big blinds here.
Dream flop, dream
It's
turn.
going to be in the small blind
blocking
on this
jack
next
too,
hand,
crazy.
so 40,000 will be committed.
Trying to rep the flush, but it didn't happen.
Pärssinen, you had diamonds too, right?
Yep.
He had everything.
Diamonds, set,
He had everything.
straight.
That's why I was just saying I only had a jack.
Oh my god.
Those are the hands that you bet like your house mortgage on.
And if you do that, that's when the 5% comes in. That's how it works, right?
Oh, man.
40, right?
Kothari facing an insane uphill battle here. Down to just 300K. But hey,
Hot.
I've seen crazier things, Donnie.
He's got a good one here to get it in. Ace, queen, queen, 8. He's got 1 suit.
Exact.
No, I have more than that by a little bit. Just put it all in if you're gonna do it, so we can get the actual spot.
Just get it over with. Put me out of my misery.
I'll take it, no sweat.
Double up.
Double up, no sweat.
Wow. Kothari, all of a sudden, given a little bit of confidence here, but he's going to need a lot more than just winning the blinds and antes.
$5.75. If you guys are curious.
Oh.
Pop.
280.
Can't afford to let me live here. That good?
Is that bad?
Okay.
Oh my god.
I mean,
Wow, what a hand. I just like went for it and you just had everything.
Canada.
And I made a very ambitious call on the flop too, because I had evil thoughts in my head. And you were just like, please go all in. Right?
Yep.
How do you say please go all in your language?
Small, big one, please.
Mola, less owen.
Is that what you were thinking in your head?
amazing. Amazing. Karakutkov double suited again. Probably thinking to himself, whatever I do, I don't want to double Kothari up. I just want to get to heads up play. Geeng here, double suited, jack 9-9 deuce. He's going to attack Kothari, ace 8-6 deuce, 3 hearts.
I do have this. But I also have this. So I have this and this.
Ugly.
Kothari lets it go and
Was
can
that
afford
live?
to do so after winning 2 hands in a row.
I have a pair of 9s with a deuce. With
No.
hearts. I had 2 hearts too, so it's very hard for you to hit it.
No ace in your hand.
No ace. If you hit an ace, you win.
What do you think about that fold? What would your coach say?
I have no idea. I just know my coach is a freaking idiot.
It's not like this is being recorded.
He knows, he knows.
Yeah. How much do you have now? Do you have me covered?
3.3.
You have me covered, right?
Just a little bit.
200.
200?
I feel like I need to pull the Alex Livingston and just drink a bottle of wine now.
Kothari still not out of it yet.
Applied
Geeng
pressure
here with
for
a spot
second
to
place. Coach,
apply some
you're
pressure.
proud of me.
Condio says,
5.7.
easy, the most unknown PLO superstar in the world. Vesco, I mean, and I'm assuming he means Veselin Karakutkov. Ace is here for Karakutkov with the suited Queen 5.
Cool.
Pot.
Oh, look at this.
Little trappy trappy.
It's interesting because Kothari is so short. Karakutkov has to be a little bit more careful here.
Cool.
He is going to play it cautiously here.
Heads up.
Jack 5-4 rainbow. Check, check. 5 on the turn. Karakutkov probably loving the fact that it went check, check on the flop, and now loving the fact that he just turned trip 5s here. Check, check again. 10 on the river.
President.
350.
350?
Karakutkov trying to extract a few more. Doesn't get it, but rakes in an important pot, though.
Pot it. Pot.
Pot support.
Is that my chip? Call. Ace king.
All right, here we go. Kothari attempting to make a more serious comeback. 840K in the middle. He's 35% to win this, but that's probably all he really needs in the beautiful game of Pot Limit Omaha. And look at the card coverage here. Devastation for Kothari as he realizes that the ace, 8, and 3 are shared cards. Geeng with the king, Kothari with the 10. Diamonds is what Kothari needs at this point. Here comes the flop. Queen, queen, 3 rolls off the deck. Both players pair their 3. Now we have lots of pathways to a chop. Let's see if Kothari can stay in the game here. Turn card is the 6 of diamonds. 2 pair with the ace kicker. Now the most likely outcome. River card is the deuce of diamonds.
Chop it up, right? Yep.
And we don't see it too often, but they are going to chop it up.
Yeah.
Pot.
Kothari 9766 is going to continue to get a real double up, and he's going to try again. Karakutkov, ace king 10-3 double suited, happy to get involved here as Kothari has a lot of live cards right now and is even ahead a little bit with a pair of 3s. However, odds still give the Bulgarian the favorite.
Very dangerous.
All right, Kothari.
This is an interesting hand.
His
Not a lot
6s
of
could
big
just
blinds,
plainly
it's
hold
just
up, Donnie. That's
flop,
enough.
like,
Fair fight.
Hmm?
Fair fight.
Yeah.
All right, Karakutkov needs to hit. Kothari needs to hold or make straight or a flush to just get it over with here. Awaiting the showdown here that could potentially get us down to heads-up play.
Okay.
The remaining players are guaranteed $243,000. Let's see if that payout is going to get increased for the final 2. As Karakutkov, still without a pair, now has 19 outs twice.
Lots of low red cards other than 3. That's what I'm thinking about.
Turn card is the 6 of
What a
spades.
turn. This is just crazy.
And this gives Karakutkov
Now
a
take any red
flush.
card.
Kothari
It's a
now
deuce or 3.
a set of 6s. River
Wow,
card
6
is the
Never
9
see?
of spades, and he makes a full house. Oh my God, what a roller coaster.
That was an insane run out, right?
Yeah.
Woo.
3 in your hand, 3 on the board.
Like in
420.
I literally couldn't breathe for like 3 minutes after that hand with you.
Nice comeback from 3 big blinds.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Needed it, right?
Was either one of you on my table yesterday when I got dealt 6-6-9-9?
No. I'd never played at your table. He was at your table for a little bit.
I was at your
At his
table.
table for a little bit too.
Yeah, we played yesterday a lot.
All right, 3-handed battle continues. Kothari
We're still 3-handed.
has a little more time,
Double, redouble.
but knowing his playing style, he will
Full.
likely not sit back.
How much do you have now?
Millie.
100 again? 100 again, okay. No, 1 million again, sorry.
Weren't you the guy who made 9-4 and said 9 million? And he went to bet 900,000. Isn't that you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But
And then the poker gods were like, oh, you want to say 9 million? Here's quads.
Karakutkov again limps in,
That
did the
was an
same
interesting
thing
hand, to
with
say the
aces not too long ago. Now with jacks, Geeng raising it
Did
up
it
with
hurt?
ace, king, queen, deuce. 2 hearts to go along with it.
the quad hand.
Or it happened too fast, right? It was just like a band-aid getting ripped off.
We were trying to run to the next turn.
Yeah, I heard, yeah.
It was okay.
Call is made. $500,000 in the middle. 9-3-3. Nothing much out there. Karakutkov's jacks is still good. Probably going to assume that those jacks are good as well, given Geeng's aggressive playing style.
140.
Geeng betting 140. Lots of overcards. Aggression has brought him a lot of good fortune at this final table. But Karakutkov knows that his jacks are going to be good quite a fair amount of the time. Geeng now slows down. River brings the jack of spades. Karakutkov hits a set. Excuse me, hits a full house. Obviously, paired board on the flop here as Geeng makes a straight. Tricky here from Karakutkov, checking his full house.
500.
He gets Geeng to bet.
Great spot here for Karakutkov. I guess the only problem is that a check raise here is going to look extremely strong given the positioning of Kothari over there with 11 big blinds. So will that alone allow Geeng to get away from this? $1.7 million is the check raise amount.
You win.
Geeng gives it up. Didn't take too long. Good discipline and recognition by him. But nonetheless, Karakutkov now up over $4 million. As Kothari there watches on with a sub $1 million chip stack.
Did you flop?
First time in forever, Geeng has been below 10 million.
I mean, I cannot remember the last time he was below 10 million.
I mean, it was like, what, an hour or two ago? For sure. He's obviously lost some pots during this extended three-handed battle, but never dipped below 10 million. You know, he got close a couple times, but it always seemed to bounce right back. And
He just made jacks fall on the river. He's a little out of it.
that is correct. And now he picks up two kings. On the button is Karakutkov.
What is 280?
Two queens here in the big blind for Kothari. Given how short he is, could ultimately see this money go in. He would have to commit another 200,000 here to make the call pre-flop. He could, of course, re-raise and get the money in right away. Kothari finally going to use one of those time extensions. He does make the call. Kothari has 560K behind. There's 680K in the pot. Queen 6 deuce. Kothari flops top set here. Takes the lead.
Wow. This man will not go quietly into the night. hits a set of queens. Karakutkov now looking for a king to hit a bigger set. Of course, some redraw options available on the turn. A jack, for example, would give him an open and a straight draw. Not that that would help much because the 10 would give Kothari a full house. Yeah, jack does help. Jack gives him a straight draw. King gives him a bigger set. Oh my God! All of a sudden, Kothari down to 1 out.
Kothari can't believe it.
The river is the 3 of clubs, and we are down to heads-up play. Oh my God! I thought he was on his way to a real comeback here. Sir, thank you for entertaining us. What a run! Kothari. Harsheel Kothari eliminated in the 3rd place, takes home $243,000 for his efforts. What a terrific run. Ultimately falling short.
And with that, Danie Geeng has reached heads-up play, which means he is the series champion here at PGT PLO Series 2. Geeng will finish atop the series leaderboard no matter what happens here in heads-up play.
Looks like we're going on a short 5-minute break here to get set for heads-up action. Don't go anywhere. Almost $500,000 on the line. When we return, we'll be back in about 5 minutes for the conclusion of the PGT PLO Series.
Yeah. Maybe he's still in Las Vegas. He's rooting for a John Riordan double-up, and then we'll go from there.
I hope he's standing just outside the studio, banging on the windows. Just banging on the windows, hoping for some good fortune, rooting for those that can help him secure the title. Of course, 9 events, pot limit Omaha, or some form of the wonderful four-card format. Hotly contested, tough fields. It's been a great atmosphere here in Las Vegas over the last week and a half as we see John Riordan, our short stack, looking down at aces with a suit as well. Kothari, fairly quiet, hiding behind the shades and the hoodie. And there it is. 480 is the pot size raised. Riordan only has 450 left behind. It's all going to go in there.
That's everything, right?
Action back to Kothari quickly. Just verifying whether that's an all-in. He's got a lot of those white chips in front of him. Could easily afford to take a chance here. The fact that his hand is a badoogie doesn't really help him, but hey, he's in it for 140. Only has to call 310 more.
I call.
There it is. Call is made. We get an all-in here right off the bat. John Riordan's tournament life on the line with aces. 70-30, about as good as it gets when it comes to pot limit Omaha pre-flop odds.
Yeah, no suits here for Kothari. Hearts working as well for Riordan. He's also got a 9 in his hand, which helps. A 9-8 too, you know, can block some straight possibilities for Kothari here. Riordan looks a little bit uncomfortable, though, over there.
Exactly $1 million in the middle.
Good luck, man.
Riordan awaiting the flop. Here it comes. Queen, Jack, Deuce. Riordan unsure here of how he should feel. The odds have gotten worse. Kothari now 11 outs. King, 8, Queen, or 9. Turn is the 6 of spades. A little safer here. We're back to basically 70-30 as John Riordan is 1 card away from a big double up here at the start of the final table. Needs to fade 11 cards on the river. River card is the 9 of diamonds. That's going to give Kothari the winning hand, making 2 pair. Despite Riordan holding a 9 himself, he is eliminated from this final table. And he looks dejected, Donnie.
I mean, he got it in really good there, was really looking to double up. I mean, all things considered. I know Riordan didn't exactly look comfortable, but, you know, you get it in, you're 70-30. I'm not sure you can ask for much better in pot limit Omaha, unfortunately. Parssinen out of the way there. So is Kothari. But Juhasz here finds 2 aces. Ace, ace, queen 3.
100.
He makes it 100,000.
We're all like sweating to see what Berente wakes up with. Berente in the big blind has a lot of reasons to find a good hand here, especially because the vast majority of his chips are already in the middle here. 10-6, 5-3 with 3 diamonds. Not exactly a very good hand, but with this much invested already, he's going to go take a flop. Funny how Omaha works. 36% going to that flop.
Might be enough of it here for Berente, and it is.
It is enough as Juhasz tables aces with hearts. Berente, 14 outs twice here. A 4, a 6, a 10, a 5, a 3. I mean,
You could be in worse spots than 48%, that's for sure.
and Donnie, look at this. If he wins this, he'll be up from 45K to 435K in a matter of just 2 hands.
Sok szerencsét múló.
Juhasz finds it funny and amusing that his opponent still has this many outs.
Just about a $20,000 pay jump is what the players are looking at right now.
Turn card is the deuce of diamonds. Look, the screen is almost too small to show all of Berente's outs. He's got 19 outs right now, 48% equity in this hand. We're flipping coins here on the
So
All
I
right,
scan my cards
welcome
on
back
this or this?
to the final table. We are live, coming at you from the Triangle Studio at the PokerGO Studio. The PGT PLO Series is set to wrap up with this heads-up battle in event number 9, the $25,000 Pot Limit Omaha Championship. Danie Geeng, as Donnie mentioned before the break, has locked up the overall title and will receive the 25K cash bonus that comes along with that. These guys now playing heads up for a payout difference of $150,000. 337 guaranteed for second place, 487 for first. Let us know in the chat who you are rooting for. Is Bulgaria still awake? I know Daniel.
Or waking up.
Or waking up. I know Danie Geeng mentioned he is originally from Taiwan. I wonder if any people are from Taiwan or in the chat. By the way, my name is Remko, Rinkema, Donnie Peters. With me here in the booth, Danie Geeng has had the chip lead for almost the entire duration of this final table. Kothari took it from him for just a few hands, after which Geeng went on a massive tear, peaking out around 12 million chips right now. 10 million to 5 million, a 2-to-1 chip lead. This is still anyone's game. Karakutkov from Bulgaria, according to the chat, one of the most underrated PLO superstars, so we'll go with that.
Check.
King Jack 9 on the flop here. Great flop for Geeng. Flops his opponent stone dead on this hand. There it is. Ivan says, some of us in Bulgaria are awake. Let's go Veso. Veso, whatever you want to say. It's good to see Karakutkov having some fans awake to watch him battle here.
180.
180.
Donnie, looking back on the second running of the PGT PLO Series, how would you sort of summarize or define the success of this series?
I would say PLO is very much still alive and well. You know, I thought we got a good taste of that during the first ever PGT PLO Series that we held back in the spring. Of course, all the PLO events at the World Series of Poker were gangbusters, huge turnouts in those. And I think that momentum has only carried over to this second edition of the PGT PLO Series.
Geeng here raising it up with kings. It's got a bunch of diamonds to go along with it. Karakutkov with 6-4 deuce-deuce. call is made for 240.
Hello.
Flop comes out, king 7 deuce. Set over set. Karakutkov has a flush to go along with it. Donnie, I think we're about to see some fireworks.
I would only imagine the money is going to get in at some point in this hand.
Action on Karakutkov. Is he going to check raise right now with that set and the clubs to go along with it? Even has a backdoor straight possibility as well. There's still 60 big blinds deep, Donnie.
475.
Uh-oh, here we go. 475.
475.
Karakutkov cranks up the action a little bit, and Danie Geeng, Donnie, has backdoor diamonds to go along with his set, so he doesn't even have to just stick it all in here now. Let's say it's worst case scenario and the turn is a club. He's still not drawing dead. He has top set. Here we go. Makes the call. 1.5 million in the middle. Huge turn card coming up. It is the 8 of hearts, as blank can be.
How much is in the middle?
Karakutkov asking for a count of the pot.
1.51.
1.5 in the middle.
Karakutkov slows down here with the check. Must feel pretty good if you're Geeng here and you're sitting here with what is right now the nuts. You cannot be beat. Of course, there's still one card to come, but you must be feeling very good. The bet is 900,000.
Now, is this the spot you've been angling for if you Karakutkov? Is this where you lay it down with the check raise, or are you going to play it carefully knowing that kings and sevens are options? Eights, of course, less likely given the flop action. It is still pot limit Omaha. Set over set. Not uncommon in this game, but he's going to go for the pot check raise. Geeng is going to shove it all in, and ladies and gentlemen, all the chips in the middle. Karakutkov with 12 outs, a deuce, a diamond, or a 5 will give him a massive double up. But if not, Danie Geeng not only wins the overall, but also takes down the 25K championship event right here inside the PokerGO studio. Huge river card coming up. $150,000 pay difference. River card is the 7 of diamonds, and it is all over. GG from Karakutkov. The Bulgarian put on quite the display. But the MVP of today's final table, Danie Geeng, winning the PGT PLO Series and Event 9, the championship event. What a terrific showing by the player who's only ever cashed in pot limit Omaha events. What a terrific final table we have seen. And he takes home $487,000, while Veselin Karakutkov takes home $337,000. It's been one heck of a series. It's been a blast to call the action for you with Donnie Peters alongside me. My name is Remko Rinkema. Wow, what a series it has been. On your way out the door, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have daily highlights. We have a lot of high-stakes poker, no gamble, no future, and a bunch more fun stuff coming up right here on the PokerGO YouTube channel. Stay tuned for much more action. Once again, thank you so much for watching all of our PLO action over the course of the last week and a half. Go to PokerGO.com/schedule for the upcoming releases and live events. And for now, I want to wish you a good night, and we'll see you guys soon.